Our newest puppets are complete. Now we infiltrate MAGA from within. Good boys, my little puppets. Cheap too.
I mean, can you believe what Trump said? It's outrageous.
Where you can be a freak on purpose. Do what they say, make sure it's worth it. Just don't look away when you betray that person. Say what they want long as the money keeps flowing. Smile for the crowd while the cameras keep rolling. Strings on your hands, but you swear you're working. Welcome to the daytime circus. Freak on purpose.
Welcome to the show.
Let's discuss the economy. The media is spinning it. We must fight back!
Welcome to the daytime circus, where you can be a freak on purpose. Do what they say, make sure it's worth it. Just look away when you betray that person. Say what they want long as the money keeps flowing. Smile for the crowd while the cameras keep rolling. Strings on your hands, but you swear you're working. Welcome to the daytime circus. Freak on purpose.
Wow. Crazy, right? Crazy. That one was good. How's everybody doing tonight? I thought that one was good. There's another one I wanted to play. I was very torn between the two. I mean, I like the these AI videos. I know some people don't like them. I kind of like them as long as they're good, and I think they're interesting. There's another one I want to play real quick before we get into a little news that I thought was good. And it's been a while since I haven't been able to play anything. I want to thank everybody. How do I sound? Is everything good? Is my voice good? Is it loud enough? I'm trying to make sure everything is set correctly. If there's any issues, please let me know. Let's see who's here tonight. Let's see. We got Catherine K was first. Thanks for being here. And then Kimmy's Dirty Kitchen. Jimmy, what's up? Good to see you. Lynn says it's NCAA tonight. They're watching the Final Four championship game in Indianapolis. Or I don't know. Is that going on? Is it the Final Four now, or is it Sweet 16? What's going on? And then Kimmy says, Tar Heels busted all your brackets. Oh, that's terrible. Tomb, what's up? Evening, people in Jim. Great to see you, Tomb. Oh, no. Yeah, oh, no. That's terrible when your brackets. But Lisa Day, what's up? Happy spring, everybody. What's not spring yet, is it? Is this the first day of spring? Is it the 21st, right? Am I wrong? Tomorrow? This is, you must have went with your heart. Yeah. Have a great night, Iowa Backyard Cam says. Great to see you. Jay Schwartz. Hey, Jim. I hope things are going well for you today. Every day above ground is a good day, right? You know, that's what they say. That's what they say. But thanks for being here, Mr. Schwartz. Terry, good to see you too. Awesome to have you here. Jonathan Marcos is here too. Good evening, Jim and Jim Somniacs. Fantastic opening video. I really appreciate it. Morning Doom. Very, very, very good. Love. Yes. What's up? Nanny Goat. How's it going? I tuned in at the right time. Hi, Jim and chat. Yeah, we just started Mama Pillow. Just getting started. Everyone says my happy Florida girl says 5x5. That's great. That was good. No issues. All right, good, good, good. Just let me know. I've been making some tweaks and stuff to try to make it, to level everything out and make it better. You know, like I hope that is not too loud anymore. Everyone was complaining that was too loud to, you know, that stuff. So hopefully it's straightened out. But here, let's go. There's just one more before we get into some news. There's a lot of news to talk about tonight. Before we get into some news, there is one more thing I wanted to cover here. And where is it at? Here it is. Which I thought was good. I was torn between which one of these videos was going to be the opening video. But this one, we'll watch this one just for fun.
Hey, Tucker, are you comfy or what, man?
Yeah, I'm comfy. Of course I can be more comfy. I thought they had money. Don't they have money? Of course they have money.
They do.
Baba Jones, welcome to Iran. How was your flight? Come, we have a limo waiting with champagne and Iranian food.
Tucker, you're going undercover as an Israeli with Netanyahu. Get all the intel you can.
Traffic's bad tonight. I see. How long to the hotel? 10 minutes maybe, don't worry.
That's just me. Didn't that taxi driver look like Marco Rubio? Doesn't that look like Marco Rubio? Is that like making fun of because Marco Rubio's got all these jobs?
10 minutes maybe, don't worry.
This wire needs to be hidden under your collar. Right, so it won't be visible when I meet Netanyahu? Exactly. We'll get everything he says. Okay? I'm ready. Okay, let's practice our Israeli accents and Hebrew. טוב, בוא נתחיל. מה שלומך היום? אני בסדר, תודה, מה איתך? גם אני בסדר, נשמע מצוין, כן? תרגול מושלם.
BB, great to see you. We're watching this very closely. Very closely. The best people are on it. The best people.
This is the Spike LR, our next level launcher. How does the targeting work? It's fire infrared with laser guidance. Impressive. Ayatollah, we got the intel. The US and Israel planning an attack. We used the Jewish stuff to get close. Here's the proof. Okay, Kent. Perfect time for you to resign.
I'm looking for the bus stop. It should be just up ahead. Ah, there it is.
Joe and Tucker, they have no idea what's going on. Thanks for your services. Out of my way! Now, let's see how fast this thing can go. Oh, what the?
Thank you, Superman, for saving me.
Look, there he is.
Easy work.
I don't know. I think the first one was better than that one. That one's like a little. They need to be more brief. Brevity is the root of all comedy. You got to keep it brief. Let's see who else. Lynn says no issues. That was good. Life of Digital says hi all. So glad you're streaming tonight. Need a distraction from work. Sunshine says hey Jim and everyone. I just got here. Well, thanks for being here. Derek, what's up, Derek? Frames of Rhythm. If you guys don't know, Derek is a friend of mine. He's kind of a Hollywood big shot. He has a movie. You can see it on Amazon Prime called The Warrior. I believe his name, The Warrior or Warrior, The Warrior. Anyway, something like that. And it's a good movie. Check it out. Just the first round of NCAA. And then Life in the Different comes in with a rant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $25 rant, which activates Bellavision. So I'll get into the whole spiel. The way the show works is it goes about 2 hours. And it's on YouTube Free Movies too. There you go. Check it out. It's basically the story of Derek's life. He's so famous that he has a movie about his life out there. I mean, woohoo, overcoming adversity, battle with childhood. I don't want to give it up, but it's a great movie. Check it out. Yeah, so the way the show works is we go for about an hour. I mean, an hour. We go for about 10 minutes, and then as soon as we get any money, we leave. No. Show's about 2 hours long, and then we like to go 2 hours, 2.5. If we get $100 in total donations across all platforms, which is like YouTube, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships, or becoming members on YouTube or Rumble or Kick or Twitch. We also have Cash App and PayPal, which are highly recommended, and a thing called Ko-Fi, and Super Tips, which is pinned in the chat, and there's also QR codes. When we get 100, we add it all up with everything, and we add an extra hour to the show, and then for every 100, we add an extra hour to the show. And then as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we add Bella Vision for the evening. As you can see, Bella's there. She's very hungry. She's eating her paws because the pound of food she eats a day isn't enough for her, I guess, anyway. But, and someone is so kind that they donate an individual donation of $25 or greater, like right here, Life Isn't Different, donating $25. So that immediately activates Bella Vision for the evening. And Life Isn't Different says $25 for 10 minutes of Bella, worth it. Well, I popped her up there right away when I saw it. I just didn't want to interrupt the whatever you want to call it, that video thing. But anyway, so that's where we're at. So right now we are actually $25 closer to hitting our goal. That means we are only $75 away from hitting the first extra hour of the show, which, I started a little bit early tonight at 9 o'clock, which isn't really early. I was thinking about starting earlier maybe, but we'll see what happens. It'd be nice maybe if we could go some extra time tonight. We'll see what happens. Bella's, in for it. So dogs eating obsessively and licking paws, an indication of irritation, dehydration, and paw pads. Yeah, it's a lot of, what are you crying about, Nanny Goat? Where'd they go? I got the weekend's beer. The car brakes went, so I got beer and made it back. Okay, that's a joke. All right. Okay. Hey, what's up? Absent Minded, great to see you. Great, thanks for being here. SB Farmer's here too. Great to see you. Okay, I'm going to Paraguay in late June. Wow. That sounds like a fun vacation. Yeah. So first is some news I wanted to cover last night with Joe, but no matter how many times I kept bringing it up, he just kept trying to avoid it. But there's been a lot of articles and stuff talking about, how there was this poll and the American people are against Trump and they don't support the Iran incursion to get rid of the terrorists that have been attacking us for all these years. Which, when you actually look at the poll, it's not the way they're representing it. All right, that's not how it works. So we're going to look at it right now. So it says right here, Republicans overwhelmingly back Trump over Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly on the Iran war. The poll finds it's right. They overwhelmingly support Trump over Tucker Carlson and Megyn Smelly Kelly, which I shouldn't call her Megyn Smelly Kelly because she is pretty cute. Like, besides her whole eyes bleeding stuff, So first we're going to hear Trump tease a little thing here, which was interesting, to say the least.
Other presidents should have done. I spoke to one of the former presidents who I actually like. I actually speak to some. I do like some people, be shocking. And he said, I wish I did what you did. Could have done it. Other presidents, somebody should have done it. 47 years this went on. They call Iran the bully of the Middle East. And you could have never had the Abraham Accords. You could never have had peace in the Middle East. Now you're going to have peace. You could never do it with the dark cloud of a nuclear Iran. But Iran is a shell of itself. It's no longer a bully. It's the one that gets bullied. It's a bully that got beat up. We beat the crap out of them. And they deserve that.
I just want to ask you about something very interesting that you said twice today. That you talked to another former president about the Iran strikes.
I did.
Was it George W. Bush?
No.
Was it Bill Clinton?
I don't want to say.
Who was Bill Clinton?
I don't want to say. Because
Barack Obama.
a member of a party, they have Trump derangement syndrome, all, but it's somebody that happens to like me, and I like that person who's a smart person. But that person said, I wish I did it. Okay, but I don't want to get into who.
Okay.
I don't want to get him into trouble. Maybe, hey,
I have a guess.
you know what? Yeah, I think you probably know. It's interesting. And maybe he'd be proud. I could even ask him that. Would you like me to reveal your name to Peter at Fox Well, at least you have high ratings.
If Iran, as you said, totally obliterated, got the missiles, got the first 2 rounds of leadership, Air Force gone, Navy gone, can we wrap this war up this week?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Will we?
I don't think so, but it'll be soon. Won't be long. And we're going to have a
soon.
much safer world when it's wrapped up.
Much safer.
It'll be wrapped up soon. We're going to have a much safer world.
That's cool, right? So yeah, so we'll do that. That's that, and then so. Oh, tear gas and explosions shake Baghdad's green zone as pro-Iran people attack the embassy. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, so there was reports, about how no one supports what's going on, and then Joe says you're early, young man. Had to run from Timcast to have Slex Stein on, a fake and some chick that's been there a whole week, can't stand her. Yeah, who's this chick that's on there? She's like a leftist. I don't know why Tim brings these people on that basically are just trying to like twist things and subvert things. I don't like it. I don't like it. Derek says that when Megyn Kelly gets mad, it makes her even hotter. Yeah. And then Life's Indifferent says, I'd rather have a president with a spine than the ballless twats we've had in the past. And Delay is obvious. It's all right. You know what they like about them high school girls? The older I get, they say the same age. That's what Woodard said. And that's not my opinion. That's from a movie called Dazed and Confused. Snore if you drew the snort straw, didn't you? Won't tow it. Well, it is what it is. So let's do it. So this is the story. It says, reports of Republican fractures over President Trump's decision to go to war with Iran have been greatly exaggerated. Yeah, news of the demise of MAGA has been greatly exaggerated. Unfortunately, there was news of one man's demise today, which really hit me hard. I don't know. We're going to take a brief squirrel chase here just because I just have to address. Chuck Norris passed away today. Actually, he didn't. Chuck just decided that we didn't deserve to have him around anymore. He didn't die. He just decided we didn't deserve him anymore. The other word, skinny batches are hot. I don't know. I wouldn't. Do you think Megyn Kelly is skinny? Like she's not thick, but she's not skinny. Like rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Yes. There's only 4 presidents alive. He hates Obama. Biden doesn't know where he is, and Bush won't speak to him. So it's Clinton. It was probably Clinton. That's the only person who I think Trump and Clinton still talk. They were friends for years. Like they probably still talk. It all comes down to the Hormuz. It's Olympic skinny. Yeah. So Chuck Norris did pass away. Unfortunately. So we'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to announce it so no one says, hey, Chuck Norris died. I know he died. I just wanted to address it real quick in this because I was, but anyway, so talking about the demise and stuff. So the survey says that the Jail Partners survey showed that 83% of likely Republican voters strongly or somewhat support Operation Epic Fury. Ozempic skinny, I hate autocorrect. Do you think Megyn Kelly's on Ozempic? I mean, somebody who's definitely on Ozempic, and you can tell is the fat slob prickster. I mean, he's dropped like 80 pounds, it seems. Isn't that fact that another president wished he had bombed Iran lead one to believe it may have been a bad idea? Maybe. She's always been skinny. Yeah, she's always been skinny. She's not, I wouldn't call her skinny. I would say she's actually she's got like a healthy weight. She's not overweight. She's undoubtedly had work done. Oh yeah, she's had work done. Definitely. She's probably had liposuction, stuff like that. So nearly 3/4, 74% of respondents said the U.S. should continue its campaign until Iran's military capabilities are destroyed. So almost 75%, just 1% short, say that continue until the job's done. Don't give up. With only 16% saying Trump should stop the war immediately. And I'm sure those 16% probably would say that, we should surrender and submit to Allah or something like that. Kelly Osbourne is Ozempic, definitely. Yeah. Compared to prominent podcasters Tucker Carlson and Megan Smelly, both of whom have criticized President over the Iran war, the poll found 83% of Republicans trust Trump's judgment, while just 6% placed more confidence in the Fox News host. So that other number, 74%, was all people. 74% of all people say don't stop bombing them until they're destroyed, till everything's destroyed. She's a lot skinnier than she used to be. Well, that happens with age too. As some women get older, Megyn Kelly is too skinny now. I think she's still got a nice plump posterior, from what I've seen. Maybe that was AI, but even more respondents, 84%, agree with Trump's foreign policy views over Carlson and Kelly, while 85% say they take the president more seriously on world affairs than media commentators and podcasters. Yeah, I mean, you should. You see, this is Tucker Carlson saying, I get zero respect. Trump has largely declined to engage with Carlson and Kelly's critiques, except to praise syndicated talk show host Mark Levine. Is it Mark Levine or Mark Levin? Levine? I don't know. I think Levine would have an E on the end of it. A staunch backer of the Iran war who personally traded attacks with Kelly in recent days. Who said she had pancake boobs? Well, she might. I mean, she's had let's be honest, people. If you don't, as women get older, they've had kids and things happen, and their boobs do get a little pancake-ish, unless they get work done, type of thing. You're not going to have pert breasticles, in your 50s after you've had kids. You're not, unless you've had work, have implants. Is Carg Island a ruse? We will see boots on the ground. I don't believe so, Jason. We're not sending enough troops there to do a ground invasion of Iran. We would need, 100,000 troops there to go in on the ground at a minimum. That's my estimates. At a minimum, the troops that we see, the numbers of troops are something for a limited, taking that island, would be the number, because we have a story. They're sending another group, so now the amount of Marines have doubled. So instead of it being like 4,000, it's going to be around 7,000, somewhere around there. Instead of 3,500 Marines in one detachment, which when it's 3,500 Marines, you got to remember that's about 2,000 actual combat troops and then 1,000 support staff, or what the Marines like to call POGs, which is people other than grunts. Joe says, I'll derail this now. Okay. My prediction is they will pay Trump to fill oil reserves like COVID days. Maybe. Could be. These numbers are identical to the start of the Iraq War. No, I don't think so, K. Michael. Which Iraq War are we talking about? Like in Iraq 1, like the Desert Storm, we did a massive buildup before anything started. We had over 200,000 troops in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. Not Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and stuff, and Jordan, other places before that happened. And then in 2003, it was a lot faster. Troops went a lot faster. Like we had whole divisions going over, we had actual, quite a bit. I don't know. It's just too, you mean approval numbers? Oh, the approval numbers. I thought you meant the number of troops. Yeah, no, that's right. But as long as it doesn't turn into a quagmire like Vietnam or like Iraq or Afghanistan, as long as you don't go in with a bunch of ground troops, a huge invasion force, and get stuck and bogged down in there, it's going to be fine. I will revisit everything come June, July. And if we're still doing this or still screwing around, not actually decisively doing stuff, they're still clipping people at a pretty good pace here. They're taking out leaders. It's been reported now that the Gayatollah guy, that he's dead, and there's the son of the other one, and some other people. The only ground troops I really see going there are for uranium sniffing. Yeah, you'll have some, I think, Delta or SEALs or somebody going in, some kind of nest team going in to try to get the radioactive material, and they might have a detachment with them just for security. And then Joe says, the situation is worse than you hear. Got a call yesterday. It is bad, but if not on the agenda, I understand. Derailment complete. Thanks, Jim. Now you're going to have to elaborate what you mean by what situation. What I'm perfectly fine to hear what you say, Joe, because I'd like to know, but thank you. Oh, Cuba. Oh. Well, I heard Cuba's really bad. I heard they're really hurting. Are you saying it's bad they're not going to, I mean, does it look like Cuba's going to fall? Are they going to, is the government going to, Cuba going to topple? Are the people going to rise up? I mean, where are we at with Cuba? I mean, it's not really, it makes me question why it's not more in the headlines. I mean, we're seeing like bits and pieces of what's going on, the unrest in Cuba and the attacks on the, the attacks on the government stuff. So maybe they'll finally be free. Thank you for the 5. With that, that means we are now just 70 away from the first extra hour of the show. Yeah, Hungary's a commies. Yeah, we'll see. So Trump says that Levin's a true conservative and an intellect far smarter than those who criticize him, but above all, he's a man of great wisdom and common sense who loves our country. Don't worry, Code Pink is on their way to Cuba. Yeah, I mean, think about it, Lisa and Joe. If communism fails in Cuba, if Cuba falls and becomes a capitalist country again and gets rid of all these revolutionaries, 2 hours of power in the last 36 hours. I mean, who are they blaming? Are they blaming their own government or are they blaming us, the people? Are they blaming the U.S. or are they blaming their own government? Because, I heard Mexico is supposed to start sending them fuel. I mean, why wasn't Cuba using solar panels and windmills for power? If that's what everyone says it's supposed to use. Terry has pneumonia. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't see that. I'll play for rapid health. I mean, Greta hasn't floated there yet. No, Greta has called for us to send them oil, though. Greta has called for, she's. Elsewhere, the poll found 78 Republican voters were more likely to support a congressional candidate in the midterms who backs Trump's military action against Iran, while just 10% said they were more likely to support a candidate who opposes the war. They know who to blame, but the government blames Orange Man. Well, yeah, the government's going to blame Orange Man. Cornstarch, Bella may help. The mainstream media doesn't want to touch Cuba because they've been loving Cuba for decades. Michael Moore told us we needed Cuban health care. My battery pack and my spinal cord stimulator is, it's acting up. It's hurting. It's burning right now. If a GOP candidate was more aligned with Carlson-Kelly camp, 55% said they would be less likely to support the candidate. Just 19%, they're more likely to give them their vote. The partner surveyed 1,018 likely Republican voters with a margin of error plus or minus 3 points. So you're on strong antibiotics. Well, hopefully they work. Hopefully they don't cause too much trouble with your stomach and everything, because that's one thing you have to be careful with. Chuck Norris dead at 86 following a medical emergency. My brother-in-law died 3 weeks ago waiting on a tank of oxygen. Oh, yes. Gustavo, right? His name was Gustavo. I think we all said a prayer for Gustavo and his family. That's terrible. Yeah, Walker, Texas Ranger star Chuck Norris dead at 86 following a medical emergency. I don't know if this is going to be a problem playing this.
Dreams do come true. You want to do it the easy way or the hard way?
Legendary actor and martial artist Chuck Norris has died. He was 86. His family shared the heartbreaking news on social media Friday, saying with heavy hearts that he passed away suddenly the morning of March 19th, following a medical emergency. While the circumstances remain private, the family noted that he was surrounded by loved ones and at peace in his final moments. To the world, the family said, he was a martial artist, actor, and a symbol of strength. But to those closest to him, he was far more: a devoted husband, a loving father, and a grandfather, an incredible brother, and the heart of our family. They described a man who lived with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the people he loved. A man whose discipline, kindness, and work ethic inspired millions across the globe. While our hearts are broken, the statement continued, we are deeply grateful for the life he lived and for the unforgettable moments we are blessed to share with him. The family also took time to thank the fans who supported him for decades, saying their love meant everything to him. To him, you were not just fans, they wrote, you were his friends. Just one day before the announcement, reports had surfaced that Norris had been rushed to a hospital in Kauai, Hawaii, after suffering a medical emergency. At the time, insiders said he had bounced back and was in good spirits. Only days earlier, on March 10th, Norris celebrated his 86th birthday by sharing a video of himself taking a private outdoor boxing lesson.
I don't age, I level up.
He added, "I'm grateful for another year, good health, and the chance to keep doing what I love." Even in his later years, Norris remained active, training, working out, and encouraging others to push forward, no matter their age. From his early days training alongside Bruce Lee, to his rise as an action star in films like Missing in Action and The Delta Force, Norris built a career defined by grit and authenticity. He later became a household name as Cordell Walker in the long-running television series Walker, Texas Ranger, bringing a quiet strength and moral code to the screen that resonated with audiences for nearly a decade. As his family now mourns this profound loss, they've asked for privacy during this difficult time, while expressing gratitude for the prayers and support already received. From martial arts legend to Hollywood icon, Chuck Norris leaves behind not just a legacy of strength on screen, but a life defined by faith, family, and perseverance.
Wow. So I mean, everybody's got to have memories. The first time you saw Chuck Norris in a movie or something like that, TV show, different thing. A lot of people have met him. He was very, very open to meeting people. You know, he would meet with fans and, you know, have pictures taken. I don't have any pictures of myself. I don't have any pictures of myself with Chuck Norris or anything like that. I never actually got to meet him in person. I know a bunch of people did, though. He would go to like conventions and stuff, take pictures, and he was supposedly a very, personable, very friendly person. Loved the fans, considered them all friends, type of thing. And let's see, Mr. Stinky Sean says he loved bowling. He would come up to the bowling alley I worked in college. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Yes. And then Joe's talking more about Gustavo and everything. He says, but don't worry because medical is free in Cuba. No oxygen, blankets, pillows, but best in America, according to Michael Moore and AOCs. That's right. Carlos Norris. Yeah, it does drives me nuts too that Bernie and AOC push the garbage here. It does. I mean, we're already experiencing. Like I've experienced problems here in the U.S. With stuff that's happened with my family, where insurance companies, because of the way Obamacare changed things and different stuff with insurance companies, where they basically tell people, nope, you're too old for that procedure. We're not going to bother doing it with you. Not to me, but like my father was supposed to get a kidney transplant in 2019, and they told him he was too old, even though there was a donor and everything all set up to take care of it and everything. And he's like, no, you're too old. We're not going to bother. Just stay on dialysis. So that's the way it works, and it's sad. It really is. Hard to think about a world without Chuck Norris in it. I'm 59. Yeah. I agree, Joe. I don't hate, but you despise the people who feel sad. How many morons here believe the bullshit? Yeah. No such thing as death panels. Oh, there are. I know someone else who got diagnosed that they, went and had some like weird test results, had a problem coughing, everything, go to the doctor, and they say, you got something in your lung. We're going to send you, they did a CAT CT scan or something. They said, we're going to send you for a PET scan on your lung. It comes back, go, you have something that we think it's cancer. We're going to have to do a biopsy. And they go, well, listen, the insurance company says they want to wait. You got to wait 3 months and take another PET scan before they'll pay for the biopsy because we actually have to open you up to go into the lung. So now this person is sitting there waiting, basically, do I have cancer? Is it spreading? What's going on? And they're basically forced to wait because, the insurance basically controls what happens, not the doctors. Norris says, bastards regarding your father not getting kidney transplant because of Obamacare. Yeah. Very upsetting. Very upsetting. Not to mention because they made everybody go through all the stuff. Every one of our, me and my siblings had to go get tested to see who was compatible for the kidney. And after everything was said and done and all the stuff was done, it was like at the last minute, like, nope, sorry, he's too old. Danny Goat says, I understand my mom was on dialysis for 10 years, but she wasn't a candidate for a transplant. Chuck Norris said Bruce Lee never fought in a ring. No, he didn't Bruce Lee fight in like an expedition thing where that guy, remember he fought and the guy broke his back in that one fight, right? And then he fought again and ended up doing something else to that guy later. Or no, that wasn't in the ring when the guy broke his back. It was in the ring when he beat the challenge that said he'll take anybody out. Remember that thing? Or is that just in the movie? Is that just in the movie? It is. It's horrible. It's horrible. Bella's digging a hole, so it is what it is. So he was born in 1940. He rose to prominence in the 60s and 70s as a champion martial artist who helped bring the sport to the American mainstream. Watch The Fighting Black Kings. Don't get me started on healthcare. The horror stories I have will give people nightmares. I mean, they do also. It happened to me this year. I mean, I take a pill that I have GERD, acid reflux, because I have a hiatal hernia. And so, like, my flap doesn't close. So when I lay down, the acid comes up. So I have to, since I was like 19 years old, 20 years old, I've had to take a pill every day to reduce the acid, which I know it's not good, but otherwise I could end up getting throat cancer from the acid. Will come up and it'll burn your throat, and I mean, so you got to do it. It's what it is. And I've been taking the same pill, Nexium, but it's a generic now. It's been a generic for 15 years. I've been taking it for over 20 years, 30 years, something like that. And I just got a letter from the insurance company today that, no, we're not going to pay for that anymore. We want you to take this other drug because it's $3 cheaper. That's seriously, it's $3 cheaper. Instead of being $19 a month, it's $17 a month or $16.50. But the insurance company's like, no, that's the one we want now. You can't take this one anymore. Trump RX. Oh, I know I could do that. I'm just saying, like, what am I paying for insurance for? This is the point, is what are we paying for insurance for when this is what they do? Drugs do evolve. Oh, I know, SB Farmer, but the drug they want me to take is the drug that I used to take before Nexium, Prilosec. That's the one they want me to go back to taking, which that didn't work as good. That's why I went to the Nexium. It works better, but I don't know. Insurance was always a scam. Yeah, I know it is. Yeah. It always is. Like, I mean, honestly, I'd like to be in a world where we don't have insurance anymore, where it's just, you pay the doctor go to the doctor, you pay him $50, $75 for your visit, and that's it. The pharmacies are selling straight up sugar pills. Yeah. I'll be happy to come on and tell you the history of how insurance was invented. I mean, I think it was a scam by the American Medical Association, right? And basically, because there was a guild, they were trying to get rid of the guild system, which was, you had like, the Order of Eagles, you had like the Shriners, you had, different, was it the Freemasons, whatever you want to call it, and they all had lodge systems. So they had like lodge doctors, and as long as you were a member of the lodge, you got to see the doctor. They wanted to get rid of that, and they wanted everybody to be part of the American Medical Association. So they forced all this stuff and pushed through the insurance, basically, right? Or is it because of because they didn't want to give people raises because of taxes, so they gave them the benefits instead, type of thing, to keep people. So they gave them these. We'll give you these. Government intervention because pay scale perks. Government insisted if you're going to offer perks to anyone, you have to offer them to everybody. Shriners are Muslims, I think. Are the Shriners Muslims? I didn't think the Shriners are Muslims. I thought they were more like, I don't think they're Muslims. They're the guys that wear the weird hats and drive the little cars and all the parades and stuff, but I don't think they're Muslims. I don't think they're Muslims. Maybe I'm wrong. Your dad was a Shriner? The ones with the fez. You are a man of means. How much could the old be? It's not that. Masons? Yeah, I believe. No, they wear the fezes. Sleep on the other side. Yeah, I don't think it's Muslim. No, I don't think it's Muslim. I think it's like a thing that they wear. The Shriners are an offshoot of the Masons. That's what I thought. I thought it was just like, because like the Freemasons, they like to think, like the Templars and stuff, and going back to the Crusades and the old ancient mystic stuff type of things. And like, alchemy type of stuff. And I think the Shriners are like just another group, different ones. They're different things. So many things are said about the Masons, 90% false. Yeah. I heard the left side is better. Okay. So, at a time when Eastern fighting disciplines were still relatively unfamiliar in U.S. audiences, Norse became one of the biggest champions by blending the principles of athleticism, discipline, and showmanship. The dreaded Freemasons that Countess hates. Yeah. Freemasons are still the best common man secret society. Yeah. Yeah, but they had all these different lodges, Order of the Elks, the Eagles, the Moose Lodge, all these lodges, and they would provide, they would have a doctor, a lodge doctor. Each lodge would have a doctor, and you and your family could see the lodge doctor. And they wanted to get rid of that. I mean, you could look it up, and that's what this whole thing was, and it was by these people basically that corrupted the whole medical field, and basically through licensure, forcing state licensure on doctors and being members of the American Medical Association. This was all a scam. Order of the Iron Eagle sounds familiar. Yeah. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's not Muslim. While the fraternity uses Middle Eastern Islamic inspired imagery, such as the red fez, the crescent, and star emblem, historically referred to their meeting places as temples or mosques. These elements are ceremonial and symbolic rather than religious. Yeah, I think it's more about the mysticism aspects of ancient Egypt and stuff like that more than Islam. Islamic. Leftist media is already starting. Chuck didn't like the gays. Just don't make me like them more. His breakthrough came alongside Bruce Lee in a 1972 classic, Way of the Dragon. Norris, who became martial arts training, began in 1950, stationed in South Korea, and as an Air Force policeman, first met Lee at a 1967 All-American Karate Championship at Madison Square Garden. The pair developed a strong friendship and began training together, which led Lee to invite Norris to play one of the main villains in The Way of the Dragon. I thought it was Enter the Dragon. Or is it The Way of the Dragon? I don't know. Why does that name not sound right? I don't. The Way of the Dragon. I don't think that's the name of the movie. Two separate movies. I know this. The one when it was like in Rome, right? Both titles are correct. Yeah, okay. The cinematic fight scene of Rome's Colosseum is widely regarded as one of the most iconic martial arts showdowns ever captured on film. It helps cement Norris's reputation as a powerful on-screen presence. Enter the Dragon was the most popular. Two different movies. Okay. I always thought Fists of Fury, or what it had another name. I thought maybe this was the difference because, like, the movie Fists of Fury in the U.S. in Japan or China or whatever, and it was called Enter the Dragon was the Secret Fight Island. Yeah, but Fists of Fury was called The Big Boss. Like when it's originally released, then when it came to the U.S., they called it Fists of Fury, I believe. So I didn't know if maybe The Way of the Dragon had a different name. Is it Game of Death? Is that it? Game of Death? Wasn't Game of Death the one with Wilt Chamberlain too? Right? Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Wilt Chamberlain? One of them basketball players was in it. Enter the Dragon. I love that movie. Bruce Lee was never my cup of tea. At the time, I held the world title, and kiddingly, I said to Bruce, well, who wins, Bruce? He says, I win. I'm the star of the movie. Norris recalled of the iconic fight scene in 2014. Game of Death was Chamberlain and was the tower climb fight. Okay. Kareem? Lone Wolf McQuaid was good. Was it Kareem? I know it was either Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know. It was a tall basketball player. Played center. I know that. That's what I know. I don't remember who it was. But it might have been Kareem. I think it was Kareem. The truth is, Lee was a formidable opponent with a chiseled physique and technique. I totally enjoyed sparring and just spending time with him. IMDb says Kareem. Okay. Yeah, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. Wilt was in Conan 2. Okay, that's right. Wilt was in Conan 2. Yeah, okay. Lou Alcindor. Yeah. Lou Alcindor. Kareem was a student of Bruce Lee. Okay. Hey, Lady Bomba's here. What's up? Great to see you. I'm baking a chocolate cake for tomorrow. Well, that's awesome. Yes, when Chuck Norris enters a room, he doesn't turn the lights on. He turns the dark off. That's right. Yeah, he was as charismatic and friendly in the ring and at his home as he was on film. His confidence was dazzling. Besides The Way of the Dragon, Norris also starred in martial arts focused films A Force of One, The Octagon, and An Eye for an Eye, Lone Wolf McQuade, and Missing in Action. Like, I remember The Octagon. That was a good movie. He headlined a string of action films through the 70s and 80s. Good Guys Wear Black, Delta Force, Hero, and The Terror. And I thought, what was it? Invasion USA? Anyone remember Invasion USA? Kareem only tried during the playoffs. That's what my dad said anyway. Roger. That's from Airplane. Between God and Chuck, who gives you mercy? Yeah, Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. His stoic persona and martial arts prowess and all-American image made him a defining figure in the era's action genre. He also was in a bunch of the Expendables films, I think, at least one or two of them, I think so. Yeah, give me a vector, Victor. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? But Norris reached an even broader audience with the long-running CBS series Walker, Texas Ranger, which aired for 8 seasons from 93 to 2001. 196 episodes. Walker says I have AIDS. Google that scene. Oh yeah, that's the kid from I See Dead People. The kid, I can't think of his name. He's an adult actor now. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's that kid, right? And yeah. As Cordell Walker, a no-nonsense lawman with a strong moral code, Norris became a household name and brought martial arts action into weekly living rooms across the country. Do you like wrestling, Jim? Just naked Greco-Roman wrestling. No, I used to watch WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling, when I was a youngster, and WWF, stuff like that. Haley Joel Osmond or something like that. Haley Joel on something. Yeah, that's the kid. Wrestling, Osmond. Yeah, I used to watch wrestling. You know, like, I don't know. I mean, beyond his TV and film work, he also was a best-selling author and a longtime advocate for martial arts education. Norris received numerous honors, recognizing both his martial arts achievements and his contributions to pop culture. My grandfather watched WCW. Really? Like the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. And who else was in WCCW, if I'm not mistaken? I think One Man Gang. And then Ivan Putski. Who else? I think they got Bruno Sammartino. There was a bunch of people that were in it, but different stuff. And it was like, because that was before Vince McMahon's father, Gorilla Monsoon, before Vince McMahon's father, like, I think it's who it was who bought up all these ones and like basically made it one giant thing instead of everything was all localized into one local area. That's why you had these different people who were like, Canadian stuff. You had like the Neidharts and the Hart Foundation stuff in Canada, and then different stuff. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, different people, and it was different then. Yeah, and then there was like they had different stuff there. Like Chicago had their own wrestling thing, and then like WCCW was like down in like Atlanta area, I think, or Tennessee or somewhere. It was like Southern, and then if I'm not mistaken, WWF was like New York, East Coast, and then basically WWF, I think, bought everybody out. Like, started just buying up the rights and different things off of people because, like, there was different families. That's it. There's a movie about it. What's the movie about? Kerry Von Erich, right? About Kerry Von Erich, about the Von Erichs, talking about like they owned their own, like whatever it was at the time. That was the stuff owned by the father, the Von Erich, the guy who was like the claw guy. So he received a star on the Walk of Fame in '89, was inducted in the Martial Arts History Museum. It's one of its 10 inaugural members in '99. And he was presented with a Life Achievement Award by the Karate Union. The Walker, Texas Ranger star's family stared at news of his death with heavy hearts. McMahon, the dad, made it national. Yeah, that's what I think. It was McMahon's dad that made it national. Hacksaw may have been the greatest wrestler ever. I read his book. Yeah. Like another would be like Diamond Dallas Page. Those were some good people. What was it? Ted DiBiase and people like that. Yeah, just different things. It was different. You know, you had different people. Like you had wrestlers, and then you had the people that were like the promoter, managers. It was like all these different things. And you had like different jobs and stuff. And then you had gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Remember that? They want to keep the circumstances private. Please know he was surrounded by families. Oh, does this mean that he had AIDS? Sleeper hold. You know, Andre the Giant was one of those people that like went around different things. People would pay big money to get Andre to come to different places. To the world, he was a martial artist, actor, and symbol of strength. To us, he was a devoted husband, a loving father and grandfather, an incredible brother in the heart of our family. They highlight the life he lived with faith, purpose, and unwavering commitment to the people he loved. It's a broken hearted. So yeah, it's terrible. So that's him in 98. So he was in his 60s there. He looks pretty good for 60. Wrestling is so proper for men's. It was best during the Attitude Era. Is that when was that with like Triple H and them? Attitude, right? Triple H and like, do you remember like the British Bulldogs and what was the other guy? Brutus the Barber Beefcake was his name, right? Dusty Rhodes. I'm taking the gorilla down at the Omni in Atlanta when I get funky like a monkey. Isn't it odd that Magic Johnson had AIDS and his son is gay? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Denise? How you doing? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock. Yeah. So the family also acknowledged that many had heard about his hospitalization. They're truly grateful for prayers. We grieve his loss. Well, just everybody, Chuck Norris. This is the end, man, of like all that's, you know, Chuck Norris is no longer with us, man. We can't always, you know. Yeah. Chuck Norris can kill two stones with one bird. Yeah, so. It's sad, right? You know, time. You know. All right, and so. This new story we got, Trump says the U.S. is getting very close to meeting Iran objectives, and they're considered winding down. So I guess we're going to read the Hill because that's all I see here. I don't see any really right-wing stories to talk about. So we'll do the Hill, I guess. President Trump said on Friday that the U.S. is getting very close to meeting its objectives in Iran. Says, I worked with a dude, forgot his name, who was kind of a big, long, curly, blonde hair, showed up in a towel around his waist. Are you talking about a wrestler? We all go the way of the warrior eventually. Yeah. Val Venice. IRGC just threatened England over Diego Garcia. Oh, that's going to go over. The Rock years. Yeah. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah. We're getting very close to meeting our objectives as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East with respect to the terrorist regime of Iran, Trump said in a Truth Social post. The president went on to cite the objectives as degrading Iran's missile capability, launches, and everything else pertaining to them, destroying the country's defense industrial base, eliminating its Navy and Air Force, never letting Iran get close to nuclear capability, as well as protecting U.S. allies in the region, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Kuwait. He worked at a solar company. He drove a crap Sentra 15 years ago. Bruce Lee must have finally got moved to the Grim Reaper job position for Chuck to go down. Yeah, maybe. You remind me of the porta potties in Iraq, all the walls with Chuck Norris jokes. We still have Clint Eastwood. Yeah, Clint's still here, but I don't know for how much longer, man. He's up there. He's getting up there. Trump went on to address the Strait of Hormuz, saying nations that use its vital shipping lane will have to guard and police it. Like, if the United States is not, if asked, we will help these countries, but it shouldn't be necessary once Iran's threat is eradicated. That's the thing, too. Like, we told all these countries, like, we don't really get any oil from the Strait of Hormuz. We don't. We pretty much make all our oil. We sell oil. We get some oil different places, but like we sell stuff from the West Coast because it comes up from the East Coast, stuff like that. But like countries like China, like England, like Germany, all these European countries, they're screwed without the strait. So it's like, why wouldn't they want to open it up and keep it safe? IRGC just threatened all Westerners on vacation everywhere. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to go over bad. Nice guy, but honestly, you could tell he was beat down by his current situation. I was a fan back in the day. Stallone will always have your heart. Well, still a good-looking man. Frank Stallone? Trump's comments come as the U.S.-Israeli operation in the region enters its third week. The administration has offered mixed messaging on how long the conflict will last. If so, why is our gas high? Well, because our gas is not as high as everyone else's. Like right now, U.S., like oil in the U.S., is like 87, 90 something dollars a barrel. It's over $100. It's like 150 or $140 a barrel in Europe, in Asia, and stuff like that. So it's not who is still alive, not to threaten anybody. Supply is not the determining factor. It's projection of storage and market speculators. Yeah, that's the thing. Like we're not having a supply issue in the U.S. They're having some supply issues elsewhere. Like we could technically say, the way that like all our prices went up because we're supplying so much stuff to Europe because of the Ukrainian war. Like the reason our electricity prices went through the roof is because we started shipping all types of natural gas to Europe. So we're paying more for natural gas here because there's less of it that's going over there. Forgive me, Jim. This guy's going to be a bit rude. I don't care about other countries. Neither do I, Joe. That's why we should not export any of our fuel. We should keep all our own stuff here. Be the easiest way to fix it is no more exportation of any natural gas, no LNG, no oil, nothing. No more export. Anything we drill for the U.S. stays in the U.S. Yeah, F the Ukraine. Yeah, Putin can have it. I was in Vegas wandering through a casino at 2 a.m. and Frank Stallone was singing it full lounge singer style. Yeah. We have refinery issues. Yes, we do. That's generally, he said, I know prices fluctuate. I'm making good with my oil stocks. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that want it to get worse because there's people that have speculated that it's going to be, $200 a barrel. But they just reopened the pipeline in Santa Barbara. So that's good. It should have Joe is America first. That's right. No more California blend, please. Yeah. We only have refinery issues because the demon rats and EPA do not allow building more. Yeah, I think the last one was built in 77. 77. That's like going to be 50 years since a refinery was built in the U.S. It's crazy. Trump told reporters that he doesn't want a ceasefire. You don't do a ceasefire when you're obliterating the other side. That when he thinks the U.S. has won the war and all Iran is doing is blocking up the Strait of Hormuz. Trump has said he does not plan to put boots on the ground in Iran. However, the Pentagon is speeding up its deployment of more than 2,200 Marines and sailors who set off from San Diego on Wednesday. I thought there was another group that left from Japan, too. A deployment of ground troops could be an escalation, during which 13 U.S. service members have been killed and 200 have been wounded. You're in Phoenix and you're stuck on Cali gas. Yeah, I just got gas today. It was $3.97 a gallon. Ugh. So it's not good, And on to this next story. This says that the Pentagon plans on keeping the National Guard in D.C. until 2029, into 2029. Jonathan says, I saw a great breakdown on the real oil story. Fascinating. California blend is special made in Taiwan and India. Wow. Really? Huh. So National Guard to remain in D.C. through 2029, according to a report. The Pentagon will maintain the National Guard presence in Washington, D.C. until 2029 through a completion of the President Trump's term. What's it say? Chuck Norris didn't join the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps applied to him. Heaven's streets haven't always been guarded by Marines. Today, Chuck reported for duty morning passing. I thought Chuck was in the Air Force. Am I wrong? I thought Chuck was in the Air Force. Plot twist, Trump was telling the truth. They have nukes, and they drop it and take out half our Navy. I mean, our ships, I don't want to give away too much, but our most of our Navy ships that are at sea right now could not take a direct hit from a nuclear blast, but they can absorb a shockwave pretty good, and they have what's called water washdown systems to keep the radiation from getting inside. So they're basically designed that they could not take a direct hit, but so it wouldn't. There's no way you could wipe them all out with one nuclear bomb. Put it that way. So, Lisa for 25. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. That means we are now, with Lisa's generous donation, we are now $45 away from adding an extra hour to the show. The first extra hour, hopefully, of many. It's kind of scary having all that hardware in one place. Yeah, but they're not like right on top of each other. They're spread out. The mayor loves the guard. She can't say it, but she hasn't been complaining. Yeah. If Iran has nukes, Israel would be a smoking crater. It wouldn't be wasted on our Navy. Yeah, I mean, that would just give Israel all the excuse they need to just, Israel's got 12 or 15 nukes, allegedly. China was paying Iran $10 to $12 a barrel. Yeah. Not anymore. So the Pentagon will maintain the National Guard there. Secretary of War Hexeth has yet to formally approve the deployment. Trump last year sent the Guard to the Capitol in a bid to crack down on illegal immigration and rampant crime in the city. The Guard's presence has led to protests from D.C. locals. I don't think those are D.C. locals. I think those are agitators that go all around the country and basically protest anytime the government is actually enforcing the law. Trump says Iran doesn't have nukes. Yeah, I don't think they. Winning isn't the goal, Jim. Killing enough people to summon the apocalypse is. Oh, shit. Whose goal? Is that the Israelis' goal? Is that the Iranians' goal? Is that the Christian fundamentalists' goal? I mean, whose goal is that? Because they all want the apocalypse, right? Because they all want the second coming of the Messiah, or first coming of the Messiah, however you look at it, I guess, Iranians. Yeah. What do they call the 13th Imamers or something like that, or 13th something or other, right? That's what they call it, I think. The Guard's presence has led to protests, but it's also coincided with a precipitous drop in crime. 2 members of the Guard were targeted in a stabbing attack last year, and leading to one fatal and one injury. Well, didn't the guy stab and take a gun and shoot somebody? I think that was a shooting. 12ers. They're 12ers. All right, 12ers. All right. Their flavor of Islam is the suicidal kind. They all want to be martyrs. Jews accepting Jesus is when the rapture starts. So you're saying I shouldn't try to convince Joe. Okay. It is a known fact that Israelis would like to see the apocalypse. Apocalypse Now was one of my favorite war movies, followed closely by its Mexican counterpart, Taco-Lips Now. Trump awarded the Purple Heart to U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the late U.S. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom during the State of the Union. So there's that. This. Trump convinces GOP primary challenger to drop his bid for a Colorado House seat. Please don't get Joe started. Okay, all right. The rapture gets us all home. So you're saying I should convince Joe. On Friday, Trump re-endorsed Rep. Jeff Hurd and said Hope Schleppelman would join his administration, calling losing Hurd's seat a disaster for our country. After withdrawing his support last month, Trump reversed course and endorsed Schleppelman, citing Hurd's lack of support for tariffs policy on Canada. And then House Speaker Mike Johnson made a direct appeal to the White House to support Hurd, and Hurd thanked Trump, sharing goals like border security and energy dominance. That's confusing to me. So Trump dissuades Colorado Republican from a primary challenge and brings her into his administration. Gen X Boomer, it specifically is not all. Read the disclaimers on the rapture. Yeah, no, some people don't get to go. What's it say? I did a great job on the Purim stream with your buddy. I can't remember his name. I think that was Cynic, right? Was on the Purim stream. Me, Cynic, and someone else. Oh my God, attacked on Skid Row. James O'Keefe. Okay, I'll pull that. Hey, what's up, Jet? How you doing, buddy? Great to see you tonight. Let me see what that is. James O'Keefe was attacked on Skid Row. Oh, I guess we'll watch some of this, I guess, because as soon as we get done with this story here, we'll pull this up. Because then I'm going to jump in. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done any, any of the illegal alien crime stuff. So I got a pretty good thing on that tonight to get into. So we're going to go through a lot of that. No, not Sydney. Other guy. Branca? Andrew Branca? I think that was the only other person there. Or Nick Rekieta came on. President Trump on Friday announced that he had convinced Colorado Republican Hope Schleppelman to abandon her primary challenge to Jeff Hurd and that she would instead join the administration in an undetermined role. I met with Hope Schleppelman and her husband, Stephen, of the radical left state of Colorado to discuss various opportunities to serve our country. Hope and Stephen are wonderful patriotic veterans of the U.S. Navy and loyal supporters of our historic Make America Great Again movement. Therefore, I'm proud to announce they will be leaving the campaign trail in order to join my administration. Where did Joe find sin? Joe found sin on my show on my birthday stream. Joe came on, and for whatever reason, him and Cynic hit it off and contacted each other, and that's what it is. Cynic was on my birthday stream with Joe and Brock and stuff. So, thank you, Menopause Brain. Believe me, sometimes I'm wondering if I'm having some kind of issues. It's your fault. Technically, it's not my fault. I told Joe not to bring him. No. I guess it's my fault. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. ABS. Yeah. It's a weird couple, different strokes. Yeah. It is. It says Hurd's a moderate Republican who previously voted against Trump on a number of key issues. Yeah. Notably joining with Democrats to vote against his tariffs. Yeah, I don't like... That's womanopause. Oh, okay. That's womanopause. Okay, that's what I think I got it. Yeah, anytime I try to go out with a woman, they pause. Together with them, we decided that Congressman Hurd should in no way, shape, or form be impeded from winning the district. Therefore, I'll be fully supporting Jeff's reelection to the House of Representatives. Hey, Renee Collins, what's up? Casting on my TV, so it's hard to post in the chat. Don't worry, Renee. It's just great to be here. I felt that you were here. I felt your presence. There was a disturbance in the force. So if they seize power, they will spend every minute trying to turn back the clock to record inflation, skyrocketing prices, get out of jail free cards, corrupt elections, and transgender for everybody. Here's the thing, if everybody's transgender, then isn't nobody transgender? When it first started with Sin, oh my gosh, now slowly he's growing on you too. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, he's like a bad case of I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know, he's like a virus or something that once you can, Anyway, so what's it say? You need a cheap mini computer to hook up to your TV and get wireless keyboard to trackpad. Yeah. Not trans at all. I got pee-pee in 2 ways and also a third. Uh-oh, a bad rash. Yeah. He's like a fungus. Yeah, it just keeps growing on you. And it doesn't and no matter how much sunlight or bleach and disinfectant you use, it just doesn't go away. So, yeah. So let's jump to this story here. We got James O'Keefe says, myself and my team and Cam Higbee and him were violently assaulted on Skid Row. The camera crew were punched in the neck and face. We were pepper sprayed, and they escaped. And they're hard to Skid Row confronting the petitioners who Savannah says, who's Savannah Hernandez, who, say she's a cutie. And my team caught on tape illegally offering drugs for ballot signatures. Uh-oh.
Hey. I got you. I'm not from out here. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Now you suck. Get away from him. I'm not from out here. I got Get out of the way. Whoa. He punched him. Let's go. Go, James. Straight, James. Straight. Go. Make a left. Look, here's a petition right here. James, here's a petition right here. Hey, I was wondering, what can I get for us? Look, right here. Put this on camera. Right here.
I don't like that they got music playing. That's going to be an issue. Let's see. Trumpinator comes in for 5. Says, let me ask, if I'm a socialist Democrat and I live in a red state, would it be a good idea for running as a Republican? That's what they all seem to be doing, Trumpinator. That's what they all seem to be doing. We have a whole bunch of people that are Democrats that just, they can't win. They can't win, so they claim they're a Republican. It's happened in Utah. It's happened in, Florida. It's happened in North Carolina, Georgia, you name it, Texas, red states, and it happens. Kentucky, and it happens. But my question is, and thank you for the 5. My question is, why did Democrats always have to lie to get elected? I mean, look at Virginia, look at New Jersey. They all lied and said all these things, like they claimed that they were moderates and we're not going to do this. And then they immediately went to the far left crazy shit when they got elected. Like, why do people keep falling for it? It's called a takeover, Jim. I understand. James O'Keefe is a fraud and likely gay. His stuff is lame and goes nowhere because it's basically a drunk homosexual man trying to get laid. Oh, man. Well, I don't know. He's stuff with Acorn basically brought Acorn down. So that was good. No. I don't know. Let's not discuss Massachusetts. Oh, my God. Oh, and then Catherine K with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. I forgot to do this, too. So with that means we are now $30 away, just 30 away from adding the first extra hour to the show. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't like the music, so this is what they were doing. And this guy's and
Petition, right?
No, we're not doing this. So
Against the law in California, they give cigarettes and cash.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's against the law. That was 15 years ago. I know it was 15 years ago. I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I think a lot of, the whole thing that went on with James O'Keefe, I just don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I let anybody who gives, I prefer to have more information, more truth, more facts. If he's out there getting us truth and facts and exposing the shit that's going on, it's not a bad thing. We need more. He's doing what actual, if I don't know if you remember, anybody who's old, older than 30 remembers in the O'Keefe plays the music so people can, for the copyright people, probably. What thing, Jim? I watched all the depositions about the Veritas case. No, I'm not talking about the Veritas case. I'm talking about just in general, it doesn't seem like his stuff goes places. It doesn't what happened? What was the deal with the Ashley Biden diary? What happened with that? What a lot of the stuff to me seems like it's more about, and I'm not attacking him. It's more of it to me seems like it's about promoting himself than actually getting to the truth and stuff. Maybe. Just a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I want more information. What I'm saying is he's doing the work that actual, like him, like Nick Shirley, like Cam Higbee, like these people, they're doing this stuff that actual news organizations used to do 30, 40 years ago. This used to be what local reporters would do. Now it's all because of the way that the media has been all bought by these giant corporations. Like Disney owns all these things, Warner Brothers. They don't do this stuff anymore because there's too much risk. There's too much risk if something goes wrong. He almost went to jail, and yes, it's promotion. Yeah. He declined to publish a diary to Biden's management single. Maybe The citizen journalist movement is impressive. He is funding normal folks to try to get stories independently. Yeah, I said I want more of this. I want everyone to, this is what we need, more information. Like Catherine says, I agree about James being sometimes sus. Yeah, everybody's sometimes sus, in my opinion. Like all these people, there's always something that's like, wait, why are you doing this? But I think we need people like him to expose the government stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the work that he did with exposing the stuff with Act Blue, with the ballots and stuff, like that was important. Rename one of the ships after Chuck Norris, not the Chavez one, because it's just a dry cargo ship. The legend needs a destroyer with his name on it. Get it done, Pete Egg says. You agree Bella is sus. Bella is sus. Look she doesn't even have a head right now. Doesn't even have a head. She's the headless Bella. How is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? She's trying to eat my movies. Does anyone remember when Alex Jones did this back when he had hair? Yeah, this was what Alex Jones used to do too. They actually aren't. It looks shady. It's very possible many places are at certain places. He needs to ask, where's the care facility? What do you do here? Okay. Oh, so you don't think that there's a lot of fraud in this stuff, is what you're saying, Gen X Boomer? I don't care if he promotes himself. What he's doing, his government or media should be doing, the good and the bad, the dark side, the light. Let him make a buck. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Who did female body part sales with Planned Parenthood? I think that was Project Veritas. I thought that was Project Veritas that did that and that they got in trouble. Do you have VHS? Not anymore. I don't have any VHS. Oh, I might have a couple old VHS, like Disney stuff. Like old Disney stuff. I forgot what they were called, like Diamond series Disney stuff. I still kept just because it was really popular for news to have a citizen advocate reporter. Yeah. Battleship Norris would be epic. Yeah, it would be, Weezy Bob. That'd be great. Problem is they shine a light on a bunch of illegal shit, and our justice system closes their eyes, plugs their ears, and goes, la, 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 I can't hear you. He says, I'm pretty sure there is, but he's going about it weird and creepy. Who's weird and creepy so the normies can't take it seriously? He's talking about Nick Shirley? Veritas did Acorn. Yeah, well, that Veritas did Acorn when that was James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe dressed as a pimp and brought it to do Acorn. He was dressed in like a pimp suit and like over the top. And that's what made it funny, in my opinion.
We have you guys on camera shouting money for petitions.
I don't do money.
We have you shouting money and cigarettes.
I don't do money for petitions.
Well, show us that.
Can we look at the petition?
He took Acorn down. Yeah, he took Acorn down. That's what I'm saying. That was a good thing. He took Acorn down. John Solomon started out as a consumer advocate on local New York City stations. Yeah. Nick Shirley, you think is sus?
We're just asking questions.
Yeah. Why? I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, what is going on here?
You're breaking the law. Breaking the law. I'm not from out.
I know where we're going.
What's with the green suit?
Car. Trying to find you. You're right up here.
I mean, here's the thing too. They'll probably get arrested by LA police for, chemical warfare or something. He ran for blocks. Stossel started out as a consumer reporter. Yeah. Everybody's afraid of Mike Wallace. My bad. My husband just told me battleships are named after states. St. Patrick's Day? Okay, maybe that's why he's wearing green.
I got paper sprayed.
I saw, I don't know. So that's James O'Keefe, what's going on, the election fraud stuff. So it's a petition that Savannah says caught on camera giving out cash and cigarettes for signatures. Okay, violent thugs. Yeah, he needs to be identified. Yeah. I'm sure he's got I'm sure he's got his. I'm sure he's got a serious criminal history, is what the words I would look for. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to bookmarks. It's been a while since we did this. Wasn't he on 2020? I think, was Stossel on 2020 or was that Mike Wallace? James does theatrics because it gets people to watch the videos. NRP is an oil infrastructure company. Is making so much money they gave a special dividend on 317. By the way, those consumer advocates are mostly just Marxists trying to throw a wrench into capitalism. Rest in peace, Corvair. They pay homeless people to get $5 to get petitions passed. Yeah. They're probably, Stossel was on 2020. Yeah. Does anyone remember when Stossel said that wrestling was fake and got punched in the face by Diamond Dallas Page? DDP. That kid's a minor. Nothing will happen to him. That kid's not a minor. That wasn't a minor. Stossel was on 2020. I don't think that kid was a minor. I think that kid's got a very long rap sheet. The kid was not a kid. Stossel was on WABC in New York City. Let's see. All right. We're almost at 100 viewers. Let's see. Here's what Google says. Stossel was named co-anchor of 2020 in May 2003. Many will register to vote for a city. Yeah, you know, what are you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? Let's see. We are a little over an hour into the show. Got 100 people watching and 71 likes. Well, that's pretty good. We could, I mean, having 100 likes would be great, but 71's pretty good. Jerry Rivers, a.k.a. Geraldo Rivera, talked about wrestling. Yeah, no, John Stossel did a thing about it being fake and got slapped in the face. Or whatever, got knocked on his boot. Now you can't pay people to sign. Yes, he lost his hearing. I watched that. That's what he said. He lost his hearing. I think it was another one too, wasn't it? Didn't the same kind of thing happen to what was his name? That comedian guy that played Lepke, or not Lepke? What's his name? Damn it! From Taxi. Geraldo did too. Geraldo got hit too. Oh, okay. So here's a rundown of 25 cases that have come to light. And you got Florida, horrific abuse and death of his nephew. Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania, illegally voted in multiple elections. North Carolina, New York City, North Carolina, Missouri, Arizona, Montana, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina. So we're going to go through all of these. We're going to look at the stuff. Stossel got hit so hard he believes in wrestling and Santa Claus. Andy Kaufman, Latka. Yeah, Latka. Yeah, that was Latka. He did something where he was pretending to be like the champion, like ladies wrestler or something, and somebody went after him, right? I remember on a show. Didn't Mike Wallace go down the tubes when he made up some BS about George Bush Jr.? Was that Mike Wallace or was that the other guy? I don't think it was Wallace. That was another guy who's that was another guy. I can't think of his name. Jerry the King Lawler. Yeah, Jerry the King Lawler. Dan Rather. It was Dan Rather. Dan Rather who went down to Tuesday. Jerry the King Lawler who went after Kaufman, right? So here's the people. A bunch of white people I see. Look at them all. So here we go. We got this. Escambia County, Florida, illegal alien arrested for horrific abuse of his nephew.
We do want to warn you, some of the details might be disturbing. Sheriff Simmons says Arazo was the caregiver of the little boy after his mother and aunt, who are also in the country illegally, were deported. And tonight, the Florida Attorney General is also speaking out, describing this case as horrific. Tonight, an illegal immigrant is accused of causing the death of his 3-year-old nephew. According to Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons, first responders came here to Brentco Road in Cantonment Wednesday, where they found the toddler in cardiac arrest. Simmons says earlier that day, the child's uncle and caregiver, 28-year-old Samuel Antonio Maldonado Arazo, took the boy to work with him, ignoring signs of extreme distress the child showed throughout the day.
Life-saving measures were attempted, but unfortunately he passed. We learned that this young boy suffered extensive bruising about his body, to include 17 strikes to the head alone. Additionally, there were several burn marks consistent with heating a lighter and then pressing that lighter against the skin. These injuries and the neglect associated with them contributed to his death.
Simmons added the child also had several broken ribs and a broken collarbone. The sheriff says the 3-year-old's mother and aunt were deported, leaving the child with Arazo. The Florida Attorney General's office sending Fox 10 News a statement saying, quote, "This case is horrific, and it was at the hands of an illegal alien who never should have been in our country in the first place after this poor child was abandoned by his illegal alien mother." Jail records show right now Arazo is charged with negligent manslaughter. Simmons says this charge could be upgraded.
The injuries to the child are hard to talk about and even harder to imagine having to endure. The only solace I can think of is that he suffers no more.
The sheriff added Arazo had other children living with him, and they have since been taken by the Florida Department of Children and Families.
Catherine says, Jim, speaking of James O'Keefe, JLR reports on YouTube accused of domestic violence by Magnolia, a fake name for her. Guess what? She was the fake underage girl who tanked Roy Moore, worked for O'Keefe. Really? She worked for O'Keefe, the fake girl that tanked Roy Moore? That whole Roy Moore thing was a scam. That was a complete scam by leftist weirdos. So I don't know. Citizens commit more crimes. Yeah, no, they don't. They don't. We've looked at those numbers. How did they get deported, but not this piece of shit? Southwest Florida newswomen are pretty nice looking. Yeah. Hey, Just Dawn Souls Jenner, great to see you. Libtards will say it's ICE fault for deporting the mom and separating the family. Yeah.
We do want to...
Hold on, let me see if there's any information about it. It says he was arrested for manslaughter in connection. So this is the sheriff talking. I'm just looking to see if there was any... feed the fish and be done entirely. Yeah, let's do that. He's not an immigrant in any form. He's a legal alien and killer. Let's see. Let's see what the sheriff has to say.
And despicable treatment at the hands of his... That 3-year-old boy now lies at the county morgue. He is thereafter suffering what I can only describe as horrendous and despicable treatment at the hands of his caregiver, his uncle. On March the 4th, we got a call about a cardiac arrest involving the 3-year-old boy. Life-saving measures were attempted, but unfortunately he passed. An extensive investigation began. With the assistance of the medical examiner's office and the state attorney's office, we learned that this young boy suffered extensive bruising about his body, to include 17 strikes to the head alone. Additionally, there were several burn marks consistent with heating a lighter and then pressing that lighter against the skin. He had several broken ribs, one in which was detached from the backbone. He also had a transected pancreas, which is consistent with severe blunt trauma. There was a broken collarbone and signs of possible sexual abuse. Many of these injuries were in different stages of healing. These injuries and the neglect associated with them contributed to his death. I would need to take you back a bit to explain how this poor child ended up with his uncle. His mother, who was in the country illegally, was picked up in Alabama and deported, and by all accounts, leaving the child with her sister, who is also here illegally and also has been deported.
Wow. All right, let's get on to number 2. Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania. The alien voted in multiple elections and committed fraud. But this don't happen. This don't happen. And we were told repeatedly that this don't happen.
Heated battle over voter ID heating up on Capitol Hill. A jury just convicted a woman in Massachusetts of voter fraud. Prosecutors say that she also stole more than $400,000 in federal benefits. White House correspondent Aisha Hasni reports live from the North Lawn. Hi, Aisha.
Hey there, Martha. We're talking about a 59-year-old illegal immigrant who's been in the country for years, stole someone else's identity, and then voted in the 2024 presidential election. Take a look at this photo here. This is Lina Maria Arovio Hernandez. In this picture, you can see her, Martha, wearing that I voted sticker that we all get when we go to cast our ballots. She's also convicted of stealing $400,000, as you mentioned, in benefits. She apparently used her fake identity to obtain multiple state IDs and also a passport. So the president this morning, or excuse me, on Sunday, posted this on Truth Social. America's elections are rigged, stolen, and a laughingstock all over the world. He is calling for voter ID, proof of citizenship, and bans on mail-in ballots as he supports the SAVE Act on Capitol Hill. That's a Republican-led voter ID bill that is expected to hit the floor of the House this week. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is claiming the bill is just an attempt by Republicans to rig the midterm elections.
The question is that what Republicans are trying to do is to engage in clear and blatant voter suppression. They know that if there's a free and fair election in November, they're going to lose.
Okay, but not all Democrats out there actually feel that way.
So trying to stop illegal aliens or people that aren't citizens from voting is not making it a free election. They want a free and fair, to their terminology, fair. To them, they believe that anyone who's here in the country should get the vote. That's what the Democrats believe. They're just undocumented citizens. That's all. That's what they believe. They're just not like, they just don't have they're citizens. They're here, so they should get the vote. That's what Democrats believe. That's the only way they can win is by cheating.
And now, me as a Democrat, I do not believe that it's unreasonable or to show ID just to vote. And I remind everybody that less than a year ago in Wisconsin, they added that to the Constitution by a 63%. So it's not a radical idea for regular Americans to show your ID to vote.
Martha, you know how this works. Even if it passes in the House, it has to go to the Senate, where it faces a numbers problem, which is why you have so many Republicans in the House now calling senators to blow up the filibuster once again. Martha?
All right. I should thank you very much. Got it. So former ESPN host Sage.
Yeah. So and then it's Guilford County, North Carolina. Man, a detainer arrested for statutory rape of a 7-year-old. Statutory rape of a 7-year-old. No, that statutory rape just means this is like, there's a difference between like this is child molesting. This isn't statutory rape. That's statutory rape is like, oh, you're 19 and she's 15 or 16. This is ridiculous. Like, this is not, this is fucking child molestation. This is not statutory rape. This is rape. They can't consent. Like, they're too young to consent. This is ridiculous. This is nuts. Count all votes versus count all legitimate votes. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. Wood chipper. Oh, yes. This is the Chippity Chippersons gets this. North Carolina, Christian Arturo Rojas Cervantes was arrested for statutory rape and sexual offense against a 7-year-old female victim. He's an immigration detainer hold. He's 29, male, weight 230, 5'11". The solution seems to particularly work well on sexual assaults of children. Let's see. Oh, yeah. See, an Arkansas father who killed his 14-year-old daughter's rapist has won the Republican primary for sheriff. Yeah, this is a great story. This is a great story. This is a great story.
Hello, Lone Oak. My name is Aaron Spencer. Many of you know my story. I'm the father who acted to protect his daughter when the system failed. I'm also a husband, a combat veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division, a contractor, and a farmer. And through my own fight for justice, I have seen firsthand the failures in law enforcement and in our circuit court. And I refuse to stand by while others face these same failures. That's why I'm announcing my candidacy to run for Lone Oak County Sheriff. This campaign isn't about me. It's about every parent, every neighbor, every family who deserves to feel safe in their homes and safe in their community. It's about restoring trust, where neighbors know law enforcement is on their side and families know that they will not be left alone in a moment of need. Together, we can build a safer, stronger Lonoke County for every family. I'm Aaron Spencer, and I'm running for sheriff of Lonoke County.
Yeah, he won the primary, and this is a great story. They tried to like screw this guy over big time. Yeah, statutory rape? What? Statutory rape is a 16, 17-year-old consenting with a 20, 22 or 7 years old straight up rape. Should have been deported a long time ago. This is just nuts, man. Nuts. Mecklenburg County, man and detainer arrested for indecent liberties with a child. Giovanni Aaron Amequitez Vaca was arrested for indecent exposure and multiple counts of indecent liberties with a child. His immigration detainer hold. This is not the first time he has been arrested in North Carolina. Yes, got my vote too. Yeah, should just cut the DNB off and let him bleed out. Yeah. This is not the first time he's been arrested. And he has a previous federal immigration-related charges. Here's a timeline of offenses. In October 2018 in California, he was charged with illegal entry and he was found guilty. In November, misuse of entry document, accused of using a fraudulent border crossing card, dismissed without prejudice. Why was that dismissed? 2021, possession of drug paraphernalia, dismissed without leave. April 2022, indecent exposure, guilty, 45 days of confinement, 12 months of probation. Like, why are these people still here? Why is this going on? Why are they not immediately removed? We are being fucking overrun, and we have judges that are doing shit they're not supposed to do, trying to force us to keep these people in the country. January 2024, indecent exposure pending. And then in July 2025, indecent liberties with a child ×3 pending. Look at it. It says Hernandez Gerardo, state inmate. It says it's a Hispanic male. Sorry. Indecent liberties with a child. Ugh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Giovanni Vaca Hernandez. So this guy keeps changing. He's got different names. He's got this Giovanni Aaron Amequez, and this is Gerardo. So he's using fake names and stuff to get around stuff. So they use fake names to get around shit. Yeah. So an illegal alien squatter in New York sets fire to a storefront before eviction. Father and son squatter set storefront on fire before eviction. Son is an illegal alien. Jawara Singh overstayed a tourist visa and was arrested in 2019, but has remained in the country. A judge has already given him an order of removal. An immigrant detainer was placed on him Thursday, prosecutors say. Doesn't this look like that guy Andy Sandberg pretending he's an Indian? It's just a civil offense. No, it's not a civil offense. It's a criminal code, but it's just a misdemeanor, and it's not handled in the criminal courts because we don't send them to jail. We just kick them out of the country. Mecklenburg County is Charlotte, noticing a trend. Yeah, the progressives want to progress to a world of ash and destruction to rebuild in their perfect image of boot eternally stomping on face. Oh, look at this, Spuds, gifted one. Jim tells you membership. Thank you so much, Spuds. The person who got that membership was, Denisha Brittle. What's up? Denisha Brittle got the gifted membership from Spuds. Thank you so much, Spuds. Nicely done, Spuds. With that means we are now just $24 away, folks. Just $24 away from adding an extra hour to the show. We got about 20-something minutes on the 25 minutes on the goal there. If we hit the 24, so we hit $1 a minute, we'll make the goal. Looks like an alien trying to pass off as human. It is weird, right? Congratulations, Anisha. Yeah, the mustache looks really fake. It does, right? Is there more about this guy? Diversity is our strength. Well, let's see. We'll read this. We'll jump into this story really quick here just to read it, just because I like to do a little more than just talk about it. Father and son duo accused of squatting in New York City storefront set it on fire hours before eviction. Father and son duo accused of squatting in a Queens storefront were charged by the feds Thursday with setting the business on fire. Narinder Singh and his 29-year-old son Jawahar were allegedly caught on the building's own security cameras placing paper towels on a hot plate to set off the February 18th inferno. Dusky Dawn, what's up? Great to see you. Says, where's mine? Well, and then Lisa comes in with $2. Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to start a little rally there for Lisa. That means we're now just $22, just $22 away. Did I miss? I think I missed one. Did I miss one? I think I missed one. I did. I forgot Deeks. Late tax paid with inflation, so $7.89. I'm sorry, Deke. I missed yours. I totally missed yours. Let's call that So we'll call that $15 away. We're $15 away. We're like $14, $15 away. So whatever. If we get 14, we'll be fine. If we get 15, even better. But we're like 14, 15 away from adding an extra hour. Thank you so much. Ask him to say no wheezing the juice. Authorities only became aware of the footage after the younger alleged firebug, who was an illegal immigrant, told FDNY about the video system in the Richmond Hill store. The Singhs, who live on Long Island in Nassau County, have been locked in a years-long acrimonious legal battle with their landlord, who is trying to boot their print shop from the building. How are any of this going on if they're illegal aliens? You can't come here on a tourist visa and do this. You're not supposed to be able to work if you're here on a tourist visa. Deke, damn autocorrect. Yeah, I get it. The store above them was supposed to open that day for the first time. And the landlord claimed in civil court docs the pair were squatters who signed a fake lease for the space, according to a criminal complaint. Oh, so they're just total, complete criminals. Wow. Just complete criminal squatters. I mean, the standoff came to a head February 17th when the judge denied an emergency request by the Singhs to avoid being evicted. At around 8:50 p.m. that night, the pair were seen on video moving a table with the hot plate and rolls of paper towels to a section of the store and then plugging in the electric outlet. The dad and son left, and 4 hours later, one of the paper towels caught fire, leading to a quick spreading blaze just after midnight. Narinder Singh and the son, Jawahar. I guess, Jonathan Marcos, thank you so much. With a $10 Cash App, that means we are just $5 away, folks. Just $5 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Thank you all so much. Call Bronca. Yeah. Encino Man was Pauly Shore's funniest character. Yeah. At the scene of the fire, the defendant stated that the print shop contained internal video surveillance. Jawar had been hiding in the crawl space of the house when detectives showed up to look for the father-son duo, prosecutors say. I got it. I just got it, Jonathan. I just said thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 10 on Cash App. Thank you very much. And, oh, look at this. Trumpinator.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
With that, Trumpinators 5, that means we hit the goal for the first extra hour of the show. Thank you all so much to all the generous donations. That means we are now $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. I want to thank all the generous people here. You are what makes the show go, what makes the show, happen. Without you, there would be no show. There would be, but it definitely would only be 2 hours long. Good job. Extra hour is in. That's right. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone who donated. Thank you all. We still have 20 minutes on the goal on YouTube. So as soon as that comes through and ends, I will add an extra hour and restart the goal on YouTube. But I appreciate it all the same. Thank you all so much. So the men were each charged with one count of malicious use of fire to destroy a property in interstate commerce by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. Whatever happened to just arson? I mean, what is with these crazy, what is going on with these crazy charges like malicious use of fire to destroy property used in interstate commerce? Like arson? How much is arson? Prosecutors also revealed Jawahar is an Indian national who entered in October 2018 on a tourist visa during his arraignment. He overstayed the tourist visa and was arrested in 2019, but remained in the country. A judge has already given him an order of removal. An immigration detainer is placed on him Thursday. What about the Spud says he's going to be right back. Okay, Spuds, we'll wait. Jawahar's passport is currently with his immigration attorney, who's appealing his asylum rejection because he's married to a U.S. citizen. Being married to a citizen in the U.S. does not grant you asylum. Asylum is for specific reasons. Jonathan says, thanks for a great show and chat. Well, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for your generous donations. It's greatly appreciated. The point is he's fighting very hard to stay in the country. He doesn't want to leave it. He doesn't have the resources to do that. He's a young man. It's simply not plausible he's going to spend the rest of his life on the run. His attorney, Robert Caliendo, told the courtroom when arguing that Singh was not a flight risk. He's not a flight risk, maybe, but he's also not entitled to be free because he's an illegal alien who's committing crimes, and we don't just let him run around the streets. Jawar appeared frail and spoke quietly as his 4 of his family members sat in a courtroom audience, including his mother and sister. He was ordered held on a $100,000 bond and asked to obey a curfew and not drive. He has a suspended license. He don't even have a license, Lisa. Narinder Singh is slated to be arraigned on Friday. I mean, is the father a U.S. citizen? If so, I mean, doesn't every arsonist need asylum? I mean, that's this. All right, let's get back to this list. Oh, how did we? Damn, that jumped way down, way down, way down. All right, that was number 5. Now we are number 6. Gaston County, North Carolina, man and detainer arrested for extorting child pornography. What? Yesterday, Jose Isaias Martel Aliaga was arrested and is facing 50 felony charges, extorting child pornography from a 14-year-old girl. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Lowell man is facing more than 50 felony charges after he allegedly threatened a minor to send him explicit content over Snapchat. 23-year-old Jose Arriaga is facing 40 counts of first-degree sexual exploitation of a minor, as well as 9 counts of indecent liberties, among other charges. Police report says Arriaga got the videos by telling the minor that if she blocked him, he'd send the videos to her parents, as well as threatening to tell the victim's boyfriend what she had been sending. He is being held at the Gaston County Jail with a court appearance scheduled for March 16th. He is also on an ICE detainer. Lowell man is facing more than 50 felony.
Wow. Describes ICE as an Honduran and criminal alien has no right to be in our country, so illegal alien. 40 counts of exploitation.
Friday. He now faces Gaston County. A man wanted for multiple child sex offenses now behind bars. Deputies arrested 24-year-old Jose Martel Arriga during a search warrant operation on Friday. He now faces numerous charges this morning, including sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation. Martel now being held without bond. Gaston County, a man wanted.
Wow. Jackson County, Missouri, a man and detainer arrested for placing homemade explosives. Oh, what do we got here? Owen Carnizales Argueta is facing 140 years after reportedly caught placing 20 homemade explosives near the Liberty Memorial in Kansas City. He's on a detainer hold. Democrats allowed terrorists to pour in our country. This is the results. All right, hold on.
This man, 22-year-old Owen Canizales Argueta is facing up to 140 years in prison after 20 homemade explosives were found near the Liberty Memorial. KCTV5's Chandler Watkins has more on what we know.
Authorities say 22-year-old Owen Canizales Argueta now faces 20 counts of possession of an illegal explosive. Each count carries a penalty of up to 7 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. This started last week when custodial workers were clearing out trash cans in front of the World War I Museum. They discovered a red bag they believed might contain explosives. KCPD's bomb and arson unit was called out and ended up finding 20 homemade explosives. Court documents say the inside of the bag was heavily coated with a fine powder resembling flash powder. Argueta was tracked down through surveillance video and license plate readers and was arrested on Tuesday.
Not only is the Liberty Memorial and World War I Museum popular among tourists and locals alike, but we're less than 100 days out from the World Cup, with a fan fest set for right here.
That's why in a statement regarding the arrest and charges, Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson said her office is working closely with local law enforcement, elected officials, federal partners, and KC 2026 to ensure that when the world arrives to our community, we're prepared and safe. Reporting in Kansas City, Chandler Watkins.
Wow. So this was like
this man, 22-year-old.
It was like he's an immigration detainer hold. Wow. Garland County, Arkansas, man and detainer arrested for the rape of a 12-year-old. Last month, Johnny Alejandro Hernandez Arias was arrested for rape. He is an immigration detainer hold. Looks very angry. Let's see here. Hernandez alias Johnny Arellano. Race, Hispanic. Age 19. Days incarcerated, 25. $200,000 bond. At least Arkansas can label them correctly. There is one that won't be falsely labeled as white. Millstones. Yeah, I agree. We can get back to old millstones. Gatlin County, Montana. Man on detainer arrested for rape of a young victim. Last month, Nain Natalian Garon Alhuesera was arrested for sexual intercourse without consent. Victim 12 or younger. How can you have consent? Can anyone tell me how you can have consent? Not the best and brightest. They are a plague. That doggy looks just like my daughter's childhood chow. So this is the person. Oh, male, C. I wonder what does that C stand for? Does that C stand for Caucasian? Let's say C stand for Caucasian. Are they labeling him as Caucasian? Are they labeling this fucking guy as Caucasian? Really? They're labeling this guy as Caucasian? Or is it a different one? Oh, no, it's a different one. Wait, who is this guy? Cullman County, Alabama, illegal alien with cartel ties arrested in sex sting. It's identified as a illegal alien with Mexican cartel ties. Cullman child sex sting identified as an illegal alien. Oh, he's a short. He's like 4 foot, what? 4'9.5", 4'10". Most Caucasian crime is actually Hispanics. I think they said that crap to normalize illegal behavior. Yeah, probably. I can tell you how you can have consent, but you won't like the answer. What, the parents give consent? Is that what you're going to say? So the suspect arrested in Coleman's sex sting has ties to the Mexican cartel. Rodrigo Ariel Hernandez, 25, is arrested on 2 counts of first-degree human trafficking, electronic solicitation of a child, and traveling to meet a child for an unlawful sex act. He's an illegal alien from Mexico, ties to the cartel. Police department conducted a sting with CRG. CRG said the cartel Hernandez is involved with kidnap and force young women into criminal networks. Individuals tied to cartel trafficking networks showing up in Alabama attempting to traffic minors. It underscores the severity of the problem. We continue working alongside law enforcement to identify these evil people, expose them, and make sure they serve justice. No, some chicks are... Yeah. In the 90s, age of consent in Mexico was 12. I mean, I hear you, but I don't... Cobb County, Georgia, managed on a detainer for trailer park murder. Oh. Last month, Pedro de Jesus Gonzalez Martinez was arrested for aggravated assault and murder in connection with the deaths of Alexis Lopez Hernandez. He has an immigration detainer hold. He's accused of cutting Lopez's neck with a broken beer bottle in a trailer park. Well, he doesn't look like one of the trailer park boys. He doesn't look like Julian or Bubbles or Ricky. Doesn't look like any of them, really. So, oh, he's a white male, though. Look at white male. White male, WM, white male, born in 95 in Mexico, in jail. Felony murder. Look, that's a white male, guys. That's a white male. Is everyone clear about this? This is a white male. That's a white male, according to the statistics. Most Caucasian crime is actually Hispanics. I mean, they're not calling him Caucasian, they're calling him white. I just want to appreciate your posts. It's important to know what's happening in our country every single day. I use your posts as references a lot. Thanks. I hope you're able to convince some folks on the other side and not in the middle. Yeah, well, in the middle. Skewing the crime data by labeling him as white. He is not white. Fix it. White, male, brown, Indio, half-breed, literally, and lizard eyes. Crime stats are actually fake at this point. Yes, they are. Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. Man and detained arrested for trailer park rape. Trailer park murder, trailer park rape. So not only are they being listed as white, they're invading the trailer parks. the sovereign domain of white trash. I mean, don't they know that trailer park crime is white trash crime? It's just for white people. Maybe is that what they're confusing them? If that's a white male, I'm a hot chick. Wow. I don't know. But I mean, trailer parks, that's white people domain. Trailer trash. Come on. What's going on here? So on Sunday, Esvin Regino Bravo Hernandez was arrested for breaking and entering and rape. He has an immigration detainer hold. Court documents accuse him of breaking into a trailer park home and raping a female occupant. Oh, yeah, so I probably another white male. No, Hispanic male. Okay, Hispanic male. Second degree forcible rape, breaking and entering. A lot of rape. A lot of rape. A lot of rape by the illegal aliens. Illegal alien arrested for stabbing a woman to death.
New details about the man accused of stabbing a woman to death along Richmond Highway in Fairfax County.
Court documents show that Abdul Jalla has been charged with multiple stabbings, assaults, and a rape, but he served very little time behind bars. Now he's charged with murder.
Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey has a closer look at the challenge in taking his previous cases to trial.
First responders arriving at a Richmond Highway bus stop finding the victim of a stabbing.
Female unresponsive. There seems to be a cut. She's not breathing. Unresponsive. There's blood all over her.
41-year-old Stephanie Minter died from her injuries. Her family just posting this obituary describing her as, quote, a beam of light in dark places.
Are these all recent? These are all pretty recent. This guy catalogs, this is illegal alien crimes. He catalogs all the illegal alien crimes. Some of them might be a little older because at the time the crime happened, they didn't know he was an illegal alien. So as soon as they find out it's an illegal alien, this is his roundup that came on the 8th. It's like a week or so old, but he does like every 2 weeks. He'll do a roundup of the top 25 that he's found, and he never repeats them. So these are all every 2 weeks or so. He's got 25 new ones, and it's all horrific crimes. There's a bunch of other ones. Like once we get through this, there's some new recent ones which I'll show you once we get through the 25 more recent ones, because he does this all day, every day, just reports on illegal alien crime. So this one I think is a little older.
Charged in her killing, 32-year-old Abdul Jallo, already well known to police and prosecutors. Court records show the unhoused man had a reputation for violence, an alleged rape in 2018, then a series of 4 alleged stabbings, and more recently, before the alleged murder, 2 alleged assaults. But only once was Jallo convicted and sent to prison. In February of 2023, he stabbed a 73-year-old man so forcefully the blade broke off the knife. He pleaded guilty to malicious wounding and was sentenced to serve 2 years with 5 years of time suspended. Then Monday night, another stabbing. Police say it's at least the 5th tied to Jallo, and this time a woman was dead. Virginia's former attorney general on social media blasting what he called catch and release policies. But a spokeswoman for the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office says many of the cases were difficult to prosecute, writing, unfortunately, the defendant in this case also had a history of selecting victims with no fixed address. In multiple cases, we were unable.
Yeah, how do you rape somebody and get very little time, but yet they sentenced that woman who just made a copy of the software on the voting equipment in Colorado. They gave her 9 years because all she wanted to do is prove that they changed stuff. That's all she did when they wanted to do an update and change stuff. She wanted proof. Seen this before and disgusting. How? Yeah. Wait, this is a weekly list. Judges and lawyers need to start being charged for these crimes. Yes, this guy does this. This list is every week or 2 weeks or something. He does a list of the top 25. I think it's only fair we house him permanently. Yeah. He needs to go down for the dirt nap. Yeah, Tina Peters. 9 years for Tina Peters, but rapists get 4 or 5 years. Make it make sense.
Able to move forward with prosecution because victims could not be located or contacted despite considerable effort from our police department to bring them to court. But records show police had identified locations or contact information for some victims. Chief Kevin Davis writing in a statement, "We respect the criminal justice system and the distinct roles and responsibilities of each entity within it. In previous cases involving this defendant, our officers and detectives conducted thorough investigations, made lawful arrests, and presented evidence for prosecution. The court outcomes are in no way related to any shortcomings associated with the FCPD. But a spokeswoman for the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office putting a finer point on their position, saying aside from issuing subpoenas to victims and witnesses, they don't have any ability or authority to physically bring people to court. In Fairfax County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
Wow. Seminole County, Florida, man and detainer arrested for DUI crash and hospitalization. This guy has a history of driving without a license and sends a motorcyclist to the hospital in critical condition.
A motorcycle rider is in critical condition after troopers say this man hit him while he was drunk, speeding, and in the country illegally. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Edwin Reyes allegedly ran from law enforcement after that crash on I-4 Saturday night. Fox 35's Marie Edinger joins us live on that story. So, Marie, once you started looking into this driver, you found out it's not the first time he's been arrested either.
No, John, not his first, not his second. It's his third time that we know of. Each time accused of at least in part the same thing, driving without a license. And we've now found out he was in the country illegally, threatened with deportation before, but still here. The Florida Highway Patrol says this illegal Guatemalan immigrant, 30-year-old Edwin Amaya Reyes, was drunkenly speeding down I-4 without a license when he rear-ended a motorcyclist. His first appearance in court for this case is not his first time asking a judge for a public defender. In 2018, Amaya Reyes was arrested in Lake County for driving without ever having a license. He was adjudicated guilty then, and again in Levy County in 2022 for the same thing. He was warned he could be deported, but he never was. And he kept driving. Records show he has 7 unpaid tolls sent to collections agencies in Orange County, plus a ticket for running a red light in Kissimmee in just the past year and a half. Now, a man is fighting for his life. The crash report for this weekend's incident says the man hit, Donald King, rolled over the hood of Reyes' car and is now in critical condition at the hospital.
It was a very gory scene.
Jenna Trulove witnessed the moments just after the crash. She says she talked briefly with Reyes and another person in the car, thinking they might be hurt. That was right before the FHP says Reyes took off running.
And they just kind of shoot us away, and yeah, we're fine. It's something that's going to stick with both of us for a very long time.
A law enforcement drone caught Reyes in the woods, allegedly with a blood alcohol level over 2.5 times the legal limit. A judge gave him a $78,000 bond. The state says if he pays the $7,800 it would take to get out of jail, they want a GPS monitor on him. I did reach out to friends and family of the man hurt in this crash, Donald King. His family said they aren't ready to speak yet, but I did talk a little bit with a friend who told me that he was a loving father, an amazing brother and friend and son, and that he always worked hard to take care of his family.
Wow. That's brutal. That's brutal. But I want to just remember, though, that every single one of these crimes are crimes that didn't have to happen because these people shouldn't be in the country. If they weren't here, these crimes wouldn't have happened. Every one of these crimes is a crime that didn't need to happen here in the U.S. And that's a fact. Any crime by an illegal alien, any one by a person who's not supposed to be in this country, a crime by someone who overstayed a visa, a crime by someone who snuck over the border, all crimes that didn't have to happen in the U.S. Dallas County, Texas, man and detainer says he set fire to car to get deported. A Texas Daniel Guerrero Ruiz was arrested for arson. He has an immigration detainer hold. Well, I think he's going to get his wish. So a white male, Daniel Guerrero Ruiz, arson. Held for immigration. No bond allowed. White male. Another white male burning arson stuff, man. This is crazy. Yeah, skewing the crime stance by labels in white. We can't make that happen. Yeah, he's only white. Yeah. Delaware County, PA. Illegal alien charged with rape, released, but caught by ICE. Huh, what do you know? An illegal immigrant, illegal alien who's charged with rape while training, but to be a Delaware County prison corrections officer. So this person was an illegal alien who's trying to become a prison guard. All right? And they were going to let him be a prison guard. He was set free by sanctuary authorities, forcing ICE to hunt him down in the community. Ibrahim George Colon, an illegal alien from Sierra Leone. Oh, Sierra Leone, what do you know? Whose visitor visa expired in 2024, was released from the Delaware County Prison, which ignored an ICE detainer. ICE nabbed him on February 11th. Huh. That's not a very that's a very unflattering picture. The Democrats would rather he be your neighbor. Despicable. Take note, America, the demon rats would rather release this violent filth into your neighborhood rather than turn him over to ICE just to get back at Trump. Their hatred for him is far greater than their concern about your safety. Yes. The demon rats and their Soros-bought judges hate America. They do. Davidson County, Tennessee, 3 men on detainers caught with cocaine and guns. Cocaine and guns.
3 men are arrested after a kilo of cocaine is found in a vehicle. Officers stopped a truck on Murfreesboro Pike and Bell Road on Tuesday. After a search, police found the cocaine along with a pistol and money counter. Investigators later went to the suspect's home where they found 2 more men packing cocaine, meth, fentanyl, and 3 guns. All 3 men involved are facing several charges.
Wow. That's crazy. Gen X Boomer says every single Republican just needs to send commercials showing these crimes and showing the demon rats for being for illegals. No demon rats would win anywhere. I agree. That's what they need to do. Needs to be what needs to be played. Never illegals from Paraguay. Paraguay is woke right. Unflattering picture. That's very generous of you. Well, yes, he's white also. Yes. Well. That's a big story in Tennessee. In Miami, not so much. They called it Tuesday morning. Yeah. Greenville County, South Carolina, illegal alien caught impersonating police. Oh, what do you know? Deranged illegal alien arrested in South Carolina for impersonating a police officer, pulling over cars while armed with a gun.
We're learning new details this afternoon about a man Greenville police say impersonated an officer. Back on January 21st, police responded to reports of a person conducting traffic stops. And after investigating, 57-year-old Jose Bello was confirmed not to be a law enforcement officer. Then while executing a search warrant on Caledon Court, detectives found multiple weapons, ammunition, badges, and other law enforcement style gear. You can see it there on your screen. Bello's vehicle was also equipped with blue lights. Police say he received a $5,000 surety bond and was arrested Thursday. He now faces several charges regarding the operation of an armed security business without the proper licensing, as well as 6 counts of possession of firearms by an unlawful alien. We're learning new details this afternoon about a man Greenville police say.
Wow, it's a lot, isn't it? Isn't it a lot? It's very scary. I'm glad they caught him. Dapper Detectives, another great account. Blount County, illegal alien wanted for bond recovery agent's murder.
According to the Blount County Sheriff, Francisco Senecio Alvarez shot bond agent James Eastis multiple times, killing him. Authorities say the 73-year-old was killed at a home on Harris Road while trying to execute a bond revocation on Senecio Alvarez, who authorities say has been living here illegally.
Investigators are still processing evidence, but were able to recover what they think is the suspect's truck. This was discovered deserted in the parking lot of a church in West Birmingham. So the sheriff gave an update to the media about the search just hours ago. So our WVTM 13 Lisa Crane was there. Lisa, can you tell us what the latest is?
Yeah, Blount County authorities have made an arrest in this case. Unfortunately, it is not the arrest of the accused gunman, but they are hoping the person that they do have behind bars here at the Blount County Jail will be able to help them track down Francisco Senecio Alvarez. Now, take a look at the mugshot of that person. He is 25-year-old Christian Perez Reyes. He's charged with tampering with physical evidence. He was arrested yesterday. Also, at a press conference today, the president of the Alabama Bail Bond Association spoke about the victim, saying he is the only fugitive recovery agent ever murdered in the line of duty in Alabama. Sheriff Mark Moon says they are hopeful Perez Reyes will cooperate and help them track down Senecio Alvarez, who they believe could still be in the area.
We do have some information on how he's connected and why he's charged, but again, that's something we're going to hold tight to for right now because we're still interviewing him and looking at the things that he had, the information that he had to see where it takes us.
Now, authorities also announced a large reward in this case. The Alabama Bail Bond Association has pledged $5,000, and the Sheriff's Department is matching that for a total of a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest in this case.
Wow. Wow. Yep. Wow. Harris County, Texas, legal alien accused of DW crash that killed a grandmother.
Manuel Neri Mendoza appeared in probable cause court tonight, where a judge said he also has an immigration hold. Houston police say Mendoza was drunk when he ran a red light, slammed into another car, killing the 42-year-old woman behind the wheel. That mother's 3-year-old grandson was in the back seat but was not seriously hurt. According to court records, Mendoza has been convicted of DWI 3 times before. Manuel Neri Mendoza.
Wow, 3 times before. 3 strikes, he should be out. Travis says, that's why they didn't show up. I waited an extra 30 minutes at least. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe. Oh, you're talking about the guys coming with your stuff. Okay, I get it now. Those lips are definitely white folks' lips. But we need stricter gun laws that criminals ignore. Badges? You don't need no stinking badges. Feinstein's infamous statement is that you don't have a gun, they will put yours down too because it's just human nature. I guess you watch too many Westerns. Yeah, she's an idiot. Hey, what's up, Jay Lee? Got great to see you. But citizens commit more crimes. How can this be? It's a lie. It's a lie. That's always been a lie. It's always been a lie that they tell. Always been a lie. Shelby County, Tennessee, illegally charged with the murder, arrested in Texas. He was arrested. Circulation ICE conducting operation. ICE was not present. Robinson County Special Operations Group, in coordination with the United States Marshals and Texas DPS, arrested the suspect, Felipe Vega, is wanted out of Memphis, Tennessee, on charges of murder. So another white male, Felipe Vega, homicide. Why you do this to me? I hate that Twitter does this, man, where it just jumps. Now I got to go back and go through this again. Denver, Colorado, man and detainer charged with murder in Kansas. A lot of murders, too. Murders, rapes, you name it. 20-year-old Yen Breca was arrested February 20th in Kansas. He's now in Wyandotte County Jail on a Denver murder warrant. Oh, what do you think? Where does it say he's from? You want to think he's Venezuelan? Think he's part of that? Think he's part of that crew of the Tren de Aragua people? He was a passenger in a vehicle at the time of the stop. Deploy a grappler in a case the driver fled, but the driver pulled over without incident. He's now being held on a separate hold from immigration. Miami-Dade, Florida, a man and detainer accused of grooming a 15-year-old. Dade County, Florida, Venezuelan national Roberto Jose Perez Rodriguez was arrested for lewd and lascivious battery on a child. He is an immigration detainer hold. Yes, he's a white male. Another white male. White male. Warrant case to be set. Hold for immigration, custody, interfering with contributing to the delinquency of a child. Wow. What a shame. Miami-Dade, Florida, man on detainer arrested for attempted murder. He's accused of taking his roommate with a knife and then stabbing the roommate's uncle in the head after the uncle tried to de-escalate the situation. Wow, somebody punched him in the eye, it looks like. A lot of blood everywhere. Another white male, Luis Alberto Lopez Mendoza. Victim's uncle was responding to the incident and attempted to talk to him, and the offender stabbed him behind the left ear and fled the area on foot. The offender denied using or being in possession of a knife. A yellow and black folding knife with blood residue on the handle was located on the scene. The offender stated that the knife belongs to the victim. If he has an immigration detainer hold, how can he be living with a roommate? Why not in jail? The detainer comes after his arrest. And then Chicago, Illinois, homeless migrant accused of murdering church volunteer. Yeah. The Venezuelan migrant sought help from Northwest Side Church. The volunteer repeatedly tried to help him, even after the pastor kicked him out for being aggressive. Prosecutors say he stabbed the volunteer to death and fled to L.A. What do you know? Fled to L.A. He fled to L.A. He fled to L.A. Venezuelan Margaret is charged with first-degree murder. Carlos Ochoa Ananga, 49, is accused of killing Juan Cuarores. Looks like DCJ welcome on that eye. Dade County Jail. Oh, could be, yeah. He's a volunteer at the Starting Point Community Church in Belmont Cragen, congregation that helps people experiencing homelessness. The two men had come to know each other through Sunday conversations at church. But last spring, the church pastor asked Ochoa Nega to leave after allegedly became verbally aggressive towards other patrons. Even after that, Cuarores continued to show kindness, giving Ochoa Naga money for food when they saw him in the neighborhood. About a week after he was removed from the church, he loaned him an air pump to fill a tire on his electric bike. When Cuarores asked for it back, Naga allegedly pulled out a knife and threatened him. The brothers left. Cuarores told his brother about the incident. The brothers left Chicago last summer for work and returned on September 20th. The following afternoon, Cuarores went to a smoke shop on the 4600 block of West Diversey Avenue, where Ochoa Naga happened to be working as a janitor. Surveillance footage showed Ochoa Naga confronting Cuarores inside the store, then following him outside across the street to his car, his right hand tucked into his pocket. The men briefly moved out of camera range, where Cuarores, who appeared on video, was running back towards Ochoa Naga, lunged forward and stabbed him in the chest. Fletcher Boy, what's up? About 7 dumbasses protested the Robertson County Courthouse because ICE eventually took Vega into custody. By the way, Robertson County is very conservative. Yes, there are idiots in Tennessee. Well, what are you going to do? We got a lot of idiots, it seems like, in this country. I'm thinking the white male thing is a DMV scam to help voting fraud. Could be. Cuarores managed to get in his car and begin driving to a hospital. Along the way, he called his brother and told him that Ochoa Nega stabbed him with a knife. He lost consciousness and crashed before reaching the hospital. Doctors placed him on life support, and he died 4 days later from the stab wound. Donnelly said audio and video recordings from inside the smoke shop captured Ochoa Nega telling another employee about the stabbing shortly after it occurred. He also FaceTimed with a second employee, and during the conversation, he was allegedly seen holding a red knife in his hands. Ochoa Naga still lists his home as the Brands Park Field House, where the city of Chicago temporarily set up a migrant shelter during the height of the migrant crisis. Oh, look at this. What do you know? So this is just the city of Chicago taking money away from stuff they don't, actually helping citizens to give it to illegal alien murderers. Prosecutors say he fled to Riverside, California after the killing, where he was located in mid-January and brought back to Chicago. Judge James Costello detained him pending trial. I'm surprised they detained him and they didn't let him go. I really am. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. Shocked. I'm shocked and, oh, man, shocked. Chicago man. The Chicago man is accused in a deadly stabbing. See, that's another thing they do. They always do this. It's a Chicago man. How is it a Chicago man? So if you show up today, you're a Chicago man. Yet they do nothing but constantly say everyone, if you're a white person anywhere, you're a fucking colonizers, an invader, you're on stolen land. But yet these people just show up and they automatically, you're now a Chicago man. You're American. Start voting. Start murdering people, and we'll just put those stats as you're a Chicago man that did it. You're not a foreigner. No, it's to flex time stats so it looks like white man bad. That's what I say. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Gavin will let him stand in the streets and give him benefits and the right to vote. Yeah, that's what will happen. So this is his previously list. We did this list before, though. I believe we did this list. This was the previous roundup. I think I did. Did it? I think I did it. Maybe I didn't because maybe I was gone for quite a while. I didn't do very many shows. I think it's been over a month since I've done this. But we'll just do this. Is this channel. It's a great follow. Illegal alien crimes. News on illegal alien crime laws concerning it. So this was the one we just did, but these are some other ones. So he posted this clip with Brandon Gill discussing sanctuary cities, which I think is interesting.
There's a couple things we can do. One, I think, is we ought to look at just entirely defunding them. And I know that there's been some talk about that and perhaps some legal challenges. But if you're not going to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, then why in the world should you get any tax dollars? I don't care.
That's right. Give them none. I'm going to grab a drink for a second.
You know, you are a burden on the rest of the country. Why should Texas 26, my district, be paying for health care for illegal aliens or for anything in Minneapolis if they're not going to cooperate? That's one thing that would, I think, move the needle pretty substantially. The other is, I think, whenever you have local officials should actually be on the hook for, in many ways, the crimes that illegal aliens are committing if they refuse to cooperate with federal immigration.
Yes, definitely. Hold them
authorities.
accountable.
I mean, if you have an illegal alien who gets arrested for a petty crime, and instead of turning them over to federal officials, you throw them out on the streets, and then they go beat up an old lady or murder somebody or rape somebody. I mean, you ought to be liable for that.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I feel. They should definitely be liable. The politicians need to be liable. These politicians who are creating these laws and doing these things need to be held accountable. They need to be prosecuted for impeding federal law enforcement. This is what's ridiculous. There's a friggin' seditious conspiracy. It's an insurrection. It's a whatever revolution, whatever you want to call it, civil war. It's going on right now, and shit needs to happen. Critter Sitter, what's up? Howdy! Hit the thumbs up, y'all. Have a great night. That's right, everybody. If everybody could please remember to hit the thumbs up, to just please hit the like button, and to let people know. The more people hit the like button, the more people get to see the show. I mean, we are rapidly approaching 2,000 subs on this channel on YouTube, which, that's a good milestone. I mean, I would like to have 20,000 or 200,000 or 2 million subs, but, one step at a time, one day at a time. Take it, step by step, day by day at a time. We got this was 13 hours ago. Illegal immigrant arrested in undercover weed-a-wee sexting, whatever this is. Illegal immigrant arrested in undercover weed-a-wee sexting, Alabama. Wow. Should we read this story? Let's read this story. Illegal immigrant arrested in undercover weed-a-wee sexting. Is this like a place, weed-a-wee? No, the white thing has been going on for a long time. It's how they skew statistics, racial crime, real census numbers, welfare stats. Yeah. I wish he was my representative. My district is Eric Swalwell. Ugh. Well, yeah, Jarvis, I agree. It's been going on for a long time. The Weed-a-Wee Police Department is continuing an undercover sex stings after receiving training from the Covenant Rescue Group. The latest arrest of an illegal immigrant from Mexico, Alexander Rojas Rabaro, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree human trafficking. Investigators posed as a 15-year-old girl, and they say Rabalo traveled from Anniston to meet the fictitious girl at a local hotel. He was taken into custody and booked into Randolph County Jail. The arrest followed a sting that led to 5 arrests. Investigator Madison Sparks told 1819 News that the jail is working with immigration authorities to place ICE hold on Rabaro. As to say, Joe V, easy, don't ask equals can't tell you what we don't know. Could be. Could be. So they're extremely grateful. We couldn't combating this, having a conversation with children, monitoring their activity. So he's considered innocent until proven guilty. Well, I guess you can consider him innocent and proven guilty, but I'll consider him a piece of shit. What's it? St. John's Parish, Louisiana, Monmet Singh. What's with all these sings? Sing, 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 sing a song. Should we send him to Sing Sing? He's now in jail on an immigration detainer hold. Was it for what? Bench warrants issued, contempt of court, misdemeanor, contempt of court. How do you get a felony contempt of court, $250,000? What is going on with this guy? There's got to be more to this story. This guy got a 200. Oh, here it is. Manhunt underway for Mehmet Singh for vehicular homicide. Okay, so this guy refused to show up to court. All right, here we go. So manhunt's underway for Mehmet Singh for vehicular homicide. ICE and police are searching for Singh after he reportedly killed a 21-year-old Patricia Saidu while driving drunk in Louisiana. Singh had disappeared. His location is unknown. So that's why he had a 200 contempt of court. They charged him with contempt of court for not showing up instead of, I don't know, something else. This says Guatemalan national Jeffrey Gutierrez Garcia was arrested for sexual battery on a minor. He's an immigration detainer hold. Oh man. So a 9-year-old boy accused him of sexually assaulting him under a threat of violence. Look at it. It's a white male born in 2006. If true, the defendant would feel pain in his anus as a result of the assaults. Oh my God, this is gross. This is gross. Gross. We got another one. Hoffa, all of them. Who knew? Don't ask, don't tell applied to everything. I don't know. Singh is Smith and Third Worlder. Fulton County, Georgia, last month Filiberto Gallegos was arrested for incest and rape. He's an immigration detainer hold. Probably another white guy, right? Yeah, white male. Yeah, Filiberto Gallegos is a white male who is charged with incest and rape. No picture, but, you know. Here's the demon, right? Illegals first, America's last, fucking clowns. Of course he's a white male. Yeah, of course. Of course. Look at Border Hawk, another great thing to follow Border Hawk. Mexican national without any U.S. identifying documents charged with attempted murder of a woman in Salt Lake County, Utah. I'm sure Salt Lake City is super woke, though, so they're probably going to just let him out and drop the charges because they don't want to be racist. Jose Alejandro Ramirez Padilla, 30, told police he had thoughts of killing someone before he strangled a woman in an alley, then slashed her throat repeatedly. The victim was rushed to the hospital on Wednesday. We've reached out to DHS for more information. Doesn't say, doesn't say what he is. I'll just go on a limb and say that they're going to classify him as white. Murder, charged with murder. Miami-Dade. Oh, this is one we already saw. Guatemalan national was arrested for sexual battery on a minor. We saw this one. It says Miami-Dade earlier this month. Guatemalan national Malquayas Messiah Bravo Godinez was arrested for lewd and lascivious battery, sexual activity with a minor, and child abuse, impregnating a minor female. He has an immigration detainer hold, but bonded out and is now in the custody of ICE. He's accused of living with and having a romantic relationship with a 14-year-old girl whom he impregnated with. Like, a 14-year-old girl he impregnated. Their reasoning is that Spain colonized South American countries. It's racist, yes. Matt Druid says, I checked out that space weather channel you mentioned before. Are the poles really moving? Yes, the poles are moving. The magnetic north, the North Pole, magnetic North Pole, magnetic South Pole is moving. That's not pseudoscience. They've been tracking it. The government is tracking it. You can track it through runway numbers because runways are always numbered with the like their longitude or whatever, their azimuth, their degree, whatever it is, So it's always like that on their latitude lines or longitude lines, whatever it is. They're always labeled like that. So yeah, so they are moving. He looks very nice. Magnetic poles, they move. Yes, he's white. Another white guy right here. Definitely another white guy. The victim was approximately 14 years old when she became involved in a romantic relationship with the offender, who's 35. He impregnated by... wow. Mm-hmm. They've been in a relationship for 1.5 years. And he said they've been engaged in consensual sexual activity since she was 14. Date of birth, status, ICE custody, state of Florida. Sick and disgusting. What's this? March 19th. Says Bergen County, New Jersey last week. Victor A. Soto was charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault and more. He has an immigration detainer hold. Oh. Soto. Oh, what's up, Mr. Soto? 60-year-old Victor Soto in Fairview, New Jersey, attempted murder, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, unlawful possession of a weapon. Mm-hmm. They're merely accusations. He's a male, hair medium, complexion medium, Hispanic white. Oh, he's got it. So this guy's like George Zimmerman. He's a white Hispanic white. A man equals Mexican criminal illegal who strangled a woman unconscious and slit her throat. This is the person. Oh, this is the person in Utah. Wake up, Utah. This is the person in Utah. That's how they report it. A man who told police he's under an influence of drugs. So yeah, so that's the local news. Doesn't say he was a legal alien. Doesn't say anything. Just says it's a man. It's a man. It's a man. Tom Green County, Texas, last month. Gregorio Morgado was arrested for indecent assault. Another white male. What do you know? Huh. El Gordo. White male, Department of Public Safety, Greene County. Indecent assault. Gregorio Morgado. El Gordo. Illegal alien Tejpal Kishore was arrested for involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a victim under 16. Police say he's in the U.S. on an expired visa, now an immigration detainer hold. Local Leo statements accused Kishore of being caught in the rear passenger area of a car with a 14-year-old girl he admitted to having sexual contact with. They're not going to say what he is, but I'm sure he's another white male. I'm not quite sure what part of it was involuntary. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Franklin County, Ohio, illegal alien and Jamaican national Andrew Brown was sentenced to 13 years after being found guilty of using an IP address at a church where he volunteered as youth minister to download 40,000 files of child porn. Like, don't we have enough creepy people in the U.S. that we don't need to bring illegals in to do these crimes? That's Soto. Also, ICE provides an update to Border Hawk on 4 illegal aliens that were arrested in connection with the shooting death of Diego Andres Lopez Danteta in Kentucky on 2/15. These people were all arrested. Oh, look at them. They're all illegal aliens. What do you know? All illegal aliens. Oh, what's this? I know American rape too, but do we need additional rapes? No. Kenton County, Kentucky, earlier this month, Omar Cruz was arrested for rape. He has an immigration detainer hold. Another white male. Look at this. This is a white male. This is a white male, folks. That is a white male that rapes people. Democrat office holders want them to remain in the U.S. They want to spend public money to give them housing, food, and medical care. And they want them to vote in American elections. That's what they want. Harris County, Texas. The suspect in Deputy Kenneth Lewis hit and run has been identified as a legal alien. Oh, what do you know?
Deputy Kenneth Lewis was off duty Saturday morning when he saw a crash near I-10 in Eldridge, and he didn't have to stop to help, but he did. Now Houston police are hunting for a black or dark-colored Honda sedan with front-end damage that struck Lewis and left the scene. The 51-year-old deputy was in uniform helping 2 other drivers when he was hit at 3 a.m. Saturday. He spent 2 days fighting for his life, but unfortunately died yesterday. He leaves behind 3 children, including twin sons who are set to graduate high school this spring and a 15-year-old daughter.
Well, a hero is someone that thinks of others before themselves, and that's what Deputy Lewis was doing. He was thinking of someone else. He could have called that in. He could have called for a unit to come out, a patrol unit to come out. That stranded motorist was in danger. So he took it upon himself to go back on duty to try to help that individual.
You may have heard Deputy Lewis's name before. In 2014. While with Missouri City PD, Lewis survived a 30-foot jump off a bridge to avoid being hit by a car while working a crash. He survived that miracle fall, recovered, and returned to duty, only to lose his life doing the exact same thing, helping a stranded driver 12 years later.
Wow. Amber Halper says, who is making these skin color determinations? An Ethiopian coal miner? Maybe. She's looking Latina. Well, she could be. She could be Latina. Yeah, she could be. Brooke Taylor could be Latina. Here's the full story. Definitely another white guy. Warren County, Kentucky. We saw this one. Best detailed description of crime charges. Doesn't mention immigration detainers, though. 5 charges. University Boulevard shooting, Bowling Green. They're confirmed illegal aliens. what's it say? March 17th, Claremont County, Ohio. Leland Samuel Ramirez was arrested for 32 counts of rape, being accused by 3 minor siblings between the ages of 9 and 14.
45-year-old Samuel Ramirez was indicted on 32 counts of rape and 1 count of gross sexual imposition. Now today, after 3 siblings reporting sexual assault, the victims were ages 9 to 14. Ramirez told detectives he's a Guatemalan citizen currently in the U.S. illegally. He was given a $500,000 bond, and DHS has placed him in an ICE detainer. 45-year-old.
Wow. I mean, it's just crazy. All right. It's just crazy. I don't know, man. Omar Cruz was arrested for rape. He has this is the guy, Omar Cruz, arrested for rape. Let's say white. What's to say? Gorochotekatega Ricardo Baez was arrested for attempted homicide. Immigration detainer hold. Definitely another white. Yep, definitely another white man. Definitely. Ricardo Gorochega Baez. Definitely another white man. Definitely another white man. Definitely white man. Definitely white man. Man accused of stealing a Kia and killing passengers in a high-speed wreck. Released on bond despite immigration detainer. This guy's got like a major head issue here we're going to look at in a second. This guy's clearly been in other crashes or something.
18-year-old is now facing charges in a deadly crash in East Charlotte. This happened back in January on Shamrock Drive. So officers say a Kia Forte was now speeding before losing control and then colliding with the telephone pole. It's unclear whether impairment was a factor in the crash at the time. They say 18-year-old Anthony Santos now was pronounced dead on the scene. Now, 2 months later, officers arrested this person right here, 18-year-old Ronnie Briones Melguera, in connection with the crash. He was also injured at the time. Now, Briones Melguera now is facing multiple charges ranging from murder to larceny, as officers now say.
I mean, I got to say, I think this guy might have had some brain damage or something. I mean, look at his head. It looks like it's caved in on one side. Yeah, I feel we've reached doom scrolling. Yeah, kind of. Where the guys from Guatemala or Central America who treat women like property come here and rape? Who could have seen that coming? Yeah, who could have known, you know? But, you know, if you say that you don't like that and you don't want that, they say you're being culturally insensitive. You gotta respect their culture, man. That, you know, they say we have no culture here because we don't do this stuff, I guess. I don't know. All right, let me jump to some more news. We'll get out of this. We'll jump to some news. The IRGC warns that Israel is plotting a false flag attack on the Saudis' Aramco. You heard that right, folks. Iran is warning us that there's going to be an attack on Saudi Arabia's oil production, but it's going to be a false flag by Israel. Let's see. Nothing? Not going to be a good article to cover this. It's really going to be just some crap. Just crap. Not really anything. Not really anyone that I trust to get their news from. Let's see. Jerusalem Post. Really? All right. We'll do this. Khamenei urges the media to avoid Iran's weaknesses, accuses Israel of false flag attacks. Khamenei's not been seen in public since he was injured in a strike that killed his father, the previous Supreme Burrito, and it raises speculation he's been seriously wounded. Like, he's dead. What is going on? He's dead. What are they talking about? It's been already reported that he's dead. Why are they saying it? I saw a dude in El Salvador beat the snot of a girl and we could do nothing before Bukele. So Iran's Burrito Supreme, in a statement attributed to him on Friday, urged the country's media to refrain from focusing on the country's weaknesses amid the ongoing war. In a statement addressing the Iranian people, the Persian New Year, Khamenei designated the New Year as a resistance economy under national unity and national security. He emphasized his mourning for the regime's martyrs. Khamenei's not been seen in public. I suppose it's been reported that he's dead, so I don't know what's going on here. A written statement released on his behalf raised speculation regarding his condition, prompting Defense Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to theorize Khamenei's wounded and likely disfigured. What is going on? What the fuck in this story is 2 weeks old? Why is this? In his remarks, the new supreme leader claimed that Tehran was in no way involved in the recent false flags attack on Turkey and Oman. So they're trying to claim that the attacks on other countries are false flags by Israel. It's a ploy by the Zionists, a false flag tactic to create discord between the Islamic Republic and its neighbors. So now they're saying that all those attacks on all these countries, it wasn't really them, it was the Israelis. The statement also elaborated on 3 military and security wars he allegedly asserted were imposed on Iran. In the first war, which referred to in the June 2025 Israel-Iran war, some of the country's best commanders and scientists were killed. Yeah, he's mostly dead. That's what I thought. The Iranian leader allegedly claimed Israel assessed at the time in the first days of the war the Iranian people would overthrow the regime. And in the second war, the Iranian anti-regime protests that broke out in December. And the third, in this war, Khomeini was quoted as referring to the January coup. The military was forced to kill an estimated tens of thousands of protesters. They were forced to kill them. Yeah, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed Jew. Yeah. So, wow. Wow. All right. And we got this. The JIATF 401 announced a zero-tolerance drone policy after base incursions. So, Barksdale Air Base, Louisiana, is placed under a shelter-in-place order after reported unmanned aerial system. But the order was lifted the same day despite unauthorized drone flights continuing for nearly a week. Yes. The Jews! So, analysts are saying that the incursions appear to be probing defenses as confidential briefing documents dated March 15th notes drones entered and exits to avoid locating operators, displayed advanced signal features. But I have to really do. Ugh. I don't really like using Fox News. I really don't. Like using Fox News just for whatever. I just don't. Unauthorized drones detected over U.S. Air Force Base housing nuclear-capable B-52 bombers. Death from above. Eric Prince. We should start our rally. Jim doesn't look tired tonight. Get his ass to work. I'm not tired at all. I'm not in no ways tired.
It's Recreational Warehouse by Watson's Ultimate.
Seriously, Fox? This is why I hate Fox.
Discuss the prospect of autonomous drone technology on the battlefield, where it is, where it's going. Our guest is Eric Prince, non-executive chairman of Swarmer, new company. Eric, great to see you.
Good to see you, Brett.
So tell me about the company, first of all, and this technology that we've seen kind of evolve really exponentially through Ukraine.
Yeah, look, the fundamental nature of warfare has really changed, especially since Ukraine. What started as a few FPV, like small racing drones, flown with goggles, crashing into a tank, has now evolved to wide-ranging, short-range, medium-range, long-range. And what it's done is it's democratized precision strike. And so now at very long range, for $30,000, the Iranians are launching a Shahed drone that's flying deep into U.S. protected areas and destroying U.S. radars, billion-dollar tracking radars, headquarters facilities. The soldiers that have been killed so far were killed in Kuwait at a secure facility by these very cheap, very...
This is Eric Prince. He was the owner of Blackwater, and I think he sold it, and now he started this drone company. So, Joe with a rally, $2. Wow, so that means we are now just $98 away from adding a second hour to the show. Just $98 away. That's really close. 98, that's close, man. We're just 98 away. This is a new company on Fox. Sounds like an ad read, masks as a news story. It's possible. We'll see what happens.
long-range drones. Those are flying 2,000 kilometers plus. It's literally pushed American warplanes having to reposition at least another 1,000 miles away from the battle space because of the proliferation of cheap weaponry.
You've got a new IPO in this Swarmer doing well so far. Explain to me,
Swarmer.
You can organize one pilot, essentially, can deploy hundreds of drones and simultaneously attack something, right?
70% of the casualties caused in the Ukraine war are now caused by drones. So Ukraine needs to be able to field millions and millions of drones, but they don't have millions of pilots. So a company like Swarmer comes along and creates a brain that allows one pilot to control dozens or even hundreds of drones simultaneously, where the human sets the parameters, sets the target, and then the drones effectively in a swarm organized. So even if some of them are taken out on the way to their objective, the drones figured out amongst themselves to retarget, reprioritize, to get after
That's
and
a low
engage
key.
the.
That's what I'm thinking. This is like an ad.
Whatever
All right, we're gonna hold on.
Target they're after. It could be a tank. It could be an air defense system.
We're
It
just
could
gonna
be
read the story.
a bunker.
So drone technology formed. So Air Force Base that houses B-52s capable of carrying nuclear weapons detected multiple unauthorized drones in its vicinity earlier this month. So we're back to this. Remember this happened a couple of years ago? Like, what was it, 2024? 2023, 24, when it was happening in Jersey, all the drone attacks. So Barksdale Air Force Base detected multiple unauthorized drones operating in our airspace. Spokesman, flying a drone over military installation is not only a safety issue, it's a criminal offense under federal law. Base officials are working closely with federal and local law enforcement agencies to investigate the drone sightings. Mystery drones fly near D.C. area military base as Iran tensions escalate. Yeah, former mercenary now owns a attack drone company. What a shock. Yeah. Film at 11. The security of our installation and the safety of our people are top priorities. Barksdale is east of Shreveport in Louisiana. Encompasses 22,000 acres with a population around 15,000. And drone technique can come hot and scared everybody in the U.S. more than rankings. 2 sleeping pills tonight. I'm sleeping in. The Soviets wish they had this. Yes. Oh, Renee Collins with a 20 says, rally sounds good. Here's my offering. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you. With that, that means we are now just $78 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much for the generous donation. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense in the Middle East told ABC it didn't look like an average drone enthusiast. This did not look like your ordinary drug dealer. It looked like this was deliberate, intentional to see just how they would react. It's very troubling. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Yes, thanks, Renee. Thank you so much. We'll have to keep an eye on this stuff. You know, have to keep an R on this stuff there. Okay, and we got this story, which says that, yes, thank you. It says that the U.S. military blows up a drug vessel in the Eastern Pacific, leaving 3 survivors. On March 19th, joins Task Force Southern Spear. So we haven't, like, because of the stuff going on in Iran, we haven't really heard much about what's going on still in the, you know, in the Mediterranean, not the Med, I'm sorry, in the Caribbean and stuff, but it's still going on. It's still happening. Still happening. They're still taking out the narco terrorists. The narco terrorists. They're still taking them out. Let's see. Any good story? Epoch Times. We'll read. I'm going to read the old Epoch Times. The old Epoch Times. U.S. military says it destroyed a drug vessel in the Pacific Ocean, leaving 3 survivors. Military said it destroyed a drug smuggling vessel in the Eastern Pacific and the ocean, leaving 3 survivors, according to an announcement from Southern Command, Southcom. Southcom said in a post on X that lethal kinetic strike on a low-profile vessel operated by a U.S. designated terrorist group was carried out on March 19th. A video of the strike was included in the post, showing a boat traveling in the water before an explosion could be seen where the vessel was located. Look at this. How did they live? I don't know. Intelligence confirmed that the low-profile vessel was transiting along a known narco-trafficking route, and 3 narco-terrorists survived the strike. After the strike, Southcom said the U.S. Coast Guard told the U.S. Coast Guard to carry out search and rescue operations for survivors. There's no injuries to U.S. service members. Hey, welcome, Truckman. Elko. Since September, the U.S. military has carried out dozens of strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats. Last year, the Trump administration designated several Mexican and South American cartels and gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. Thought we weren't paying attention. Yeah, they thought they were going to sneak on through. The strikes have drawn some controversy in Congress, with some demon rats asserting that the U.S. military strikes are not effective. They're not effective. People are surviving. That's what I'll say. You're not hitting it hard enough. People are surviving. Some have also signaled that the strikes are illegal because they were initiated without congressional approval first. Sorry, Charlie. Ain't nothing happening. Earlier this week, Jamie Ratskin said in the House that the Caribbean and Pacific strikes fundamentally weaken our ability to bring cases against drug kingpins because lower-level operations who are killed in the strike cannot testify against drug lords. Speaking of blowing up boats, did you cover the A-10s in the Strait of Hormuz? I heard about them, but I haven't seen anything, Doc. Have you seen any videos of the A-10s? Of the flying crosses? The crosses of death? Let me look and see. This week, General Francis Donovan, commander of Southcom, who authorized the strike, told the Senate he believes the military strikes on drug boats may not be a long-term solution to the problem. We've seen changes in the trafficking patterns, he told the Senate, adding, looking forward, Senators, the boat strikes aren't the answer. I want videos of the A-10s. Yeah, me too. I want videos of A-10s. However, President Trump administration has stated that the United States is in armed conflict with the cartels. So need to fill the drone gap. Yeah. Although friendly foreign nations have made significant efforts to combat these organizations, suffering significant losses of life, these groups are now transnational and conduct ongoing operations and attacks throughout the Western Hemisphere. I saw one creating some nice pink mist. Of course, thermals you have to provide the red yourself. Let me look. Oh, awesome. As a result, Trump has determined these cartels are non-state armed groups. Marco Rubio said the strikes are needed to protect Americans from illicit drugs pouring into the country. We're not going to sit back anymore and watch people sail up and down the Caribbean like a cruise ship, he said in September. It's not going to happen. So if this general from Southcom is saying stuff that the president doesn't want, like basically saying like, it's not, even though it's up to the president to decide if it's productive or not. It's not up to this general. The general follows orders. He doesn't decide if strikes are working. That's up to the president to decide. It's a political issue, not a military issue. That's the way that goes. That's the way that goes. I think long term, we've been more boats at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. Swammer odd. Yeah. It is. Let me look real quick. Let me look here. I don't. This just says. I mean, I don't think this is. I don't think this is good, but like a good video for it. But just it says 6 Iranian gunboats from the IRGC Navy Corps approached a U.S. flagged oil tanker in Strait of Hormuz. The gunboats hailed the ship via radio, ordering the captain to stop the engine and prepare to be boarded. The tankers did not comply. Instead, it increased speed, maintained its course. Iranian Yemen speedboats represent the A-10 Thunderbolt II, commonly known as the Warthog, has been used in training exercise to counter swarms of small, fast attack boats. This could be the A-10's final battle since the United States Air Force is actively moving to retire its remaining fleet. You think Tulsi's the next to resign? Maybe. We'll see. Check out Kagan Dunlap's post for update on Middle East military action. He's the best. Okay. That's just refueling.
6.1.
This is not really a. The A-10 should be modernized, not retired. I agree. I don't see any. It says, this guy says, prediction, the Strait of Hormuz will have a permanent drone dome comprised of AH-64s and A-10 stationed on carg permanently, swarms of submarine, and dozens of anti-drone warm system launchers. I'm guessing nuclear battery-powered lasers will be increasing a permanent feature. because here was Trump 6 hours ago, says, we are getting very close to meeting our objectives. We consider winding down. What's it say? A10 News, Jim Hansen. All right, I'll pull that up. You cannot unsee this now, Iran. Yeah, okay. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything. I haven't seen any video. Let me pull this up. See if this is a video. This says, bad news for Iran. State of Hormuz boats driving saboteurs, as I told each other. A-10s are hunting them. The last thing some of those guys will hear before the oil slicks is burp.
Anybody who knows the military, when they heard that the A-10 Warthogs are now hunting Iranian boats in the Strait of Hormuz, and the last thing some of those guys see before they become an oil slick is brrr coming down at them, that's good news. That's a serious way to deal with the problem, and I think the Strait will open relatively soon.
I hope so. But I haven't seen any videos of them. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen any videos. Go ahead, call the Caliph. He can't unburt you. Yeah, he can't. Do you think a lot of the anti-Israel people will come back, or have they been exposed? Come back to, I mean, a lot of the people, I think, honestly, are just going with what they think is going to get them views and clicks. I think a lot of them are just grifters. Like, I think Candace Owens is just a grifter. Yeah, no gun cam footage. Yeah, we're not getting gun cam footage like you did with Desert Storm and like we did with Iraq. Apache videos. Is there Apache videos? Is there? I don't know. Let's see here. We got Lauren. We got this story. Lauren Boebert says that because they want $200 billion to fund the war. That's what they're saying it's going to cost to do this. And she says, I'm not doing that, Lauren Boebert. So I don't understand that. After reports surfaced Wednesday that Republican Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado strongly opposed the Pentagon's $2 billion funding request, Department of Defense asked the White House to approve and send the request to Congress, which has not authorized the war and shows unease after $150 billion was added last year. Boebert, who campaigned on fiscal restraint, said, "I will not vote for a war supplemental opposing the funding request." We got Fox, the Gateway Pundit. All right, we'll read Gateway Pundit. Rep. Lauren Boebert says she's a no vote for a $200 billion war supplemental. You saw a gun cam earlier. I should have bookmarked it. Definitely. You guys like Israel? I don't really care. Israel's not my country. Not my problem. As far as I'm concerned, you know. I'm already a subscriber. Why are you doing this to me? I'm tired of the industrial war complex getting all of our hard-earned tax dollars. Well, I personally think if we just stopped all the fraud, that we wouldn't have this issue. Sounds to me like the people of Iran are going to get screwed again, left in the wind with the same government who will promptly be helped by China and Russia due to the no BOG, boots on the ground obsession. Probably. That's another one that needs to go. Isn't Homeland still unfunded? Yeah, Homeland is still unfunded. The argument that Iran was not a threat is this true, especially when I'm blocking the Strait of Hormuz? No, Iran was totally a threat. Even the fucking clown, all right? Just DM'd you an A10 versus Taliban. Holes are huge. Okay, I'll pull it up to show it. Even the clown Joe Kent was just on video not too long ago talking about how Iran has attacked us 100 and so many times, like in the past 4 years or whatever. All these different people, all these attacks, that happened because of Iran. So you could just say, oh, well, they're just going back at you and you're going back at them. But to say they're not a threat, they prove they're a threat. If they weren't a threat, they wouldn't have killed 30,000 of their own people. When asked whether the U.S. should disengage from Iran, Boebert deferred. That's up to the president. I won't vote on a war supplemental. No, I'm a no vote, she says. There's a lot of hard lines that I have right now, and we've got to get our act together if we want to keep this majority. And the path doesn't look very promising. That's Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert, Republicans against Trump. That's funny because that's an account run by a Democrat.
I will not vote for a war supplemental. No, I am a no. I've already told leadership I am a no on any war supplementals. I am so tired of spending money elsewhere. I am tired of the industrial war complex getting all of our hard-earned tax dollars. I have folks in Colorado who can't afford to live. We need America First policies right now, and I'm not doing that. We need the Save America Act, FISA with warrants. There's a lot of hard lines that I have right now, and we've got to get our act together if we want to keep this majority. And the path that we're going doesn't look very promising.
Should the administration get out of Iran?
That's up to the president.
That's up to the president. That's up to the president. Oh, well, whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be, and that's what it's going to be. I got news for her. Military gets a pittance compared to fraud. Yeah. The fraud is like, yeah. Are you tired of getting your tits fondled in theaters? Maybe. I mean, didn't she blow a guy in the theater? Didn't she get kicked out for blowing some guy in the theater? I think Israel pushed Trump and gave intel probably false to get Trump into the war. Tulsi didn't think this war was needed. I don't know, man. Tulsi said that it was a threat, so I don't know that she disagreed with Ken. You think our relationship with Europe is over? Should they get started with the breakup letter, or will they wait till the mailbox for their checks? Europe is going to have to start taking care of themselves. Like, I'm sick of everything. I really am. I personally wouldn't have a problem if we just brought all our troops back from everywhere overseas and put them on the southern border and the northern border. And just start, basically revert to where the U.S. was prior to World War I, where they call us isolationists because we don't want to be involved in your issues. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. We don't want your problems. Worry about the Monroe Doctrine, this hemisphere, this area. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But then again, if somebody does something to us, we have to hit them back. We can't just let people do shit to us and do nothing. You do shit to us, you're going to get smacked. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. You got to smack them. Smack people around. That way they learn. Don't touch our boats. Don't touch our shit. That's the way it's got to be. Her remarks come as the Pentagon seeking a massive additional funding. I don't know about massive additional funding. We'll see. We got this story. Remember the president of Colombia, the guy who said he's going to get rid of Trump just like that? We can get rid of Trump just like that. Basically, he's threatening to have Trump killed. That's my opinion. That's what he said. He's under a criminal investigation in the U.S. U.S. federal prosecutors in Manhattan and Brooklyn opened 2 criminal inquiries into Colombian President Gustavo Petro, who's probably working for the cartels, examining meetings with drug traffickers and whether his 2022 campaign solicited illicit donations. Like, I don't understand how it's the U.S.'s problem, whatever campaign funds Colombia gets. I don't know how that's, unless it was from U.S. people or something like that, or I don't know. I don't get it. DEA records based on confidential informants suggest Petro's involvement with the Mexican Sinaloan cartel, while prosecutors scrutinize allegations that his representative solicited bribes at La Picota prison to block extraditions to the U.S. Well, that would be a problem. If he's taking bribes from cartel people to keep them from getting deported, I think that would be an issue with the U.S. Hey, the real Kara Fro, what's up? Happy Friday, everyone. What's up, Jim? Glad I made it to the live show. Great to see you, Kara. Kara, were you the person that donated to, or not donated, but purchased a book from Land and Sea from Scott from Future Conflict? He's looking for someone named Kara who gave him a bad address to send the last book out to. He mentioned it on his show today. I wasn't sure if it was you or not because he said Kara. That's all he said. It was some girl Kara, somebody Kara. If it's you, get a contact. He sent you an email. He needs to get in contact with you. If it's not you, I apologize that you ordered Land and Sea, whatever it was, comic book, graphic novel. I don't know if it's you or not. I'm just saying. When he said Kara, I thought maybe it's Kara. What's up, Eastwood Farms? Great to see you. Investigators remain in early stages with no confirmed charges. If we did nothing to Iran based on Obama-Biden interactions, what happens when Democrats get back? Oh, snap, it's me. Yeah, he's trying to get a hold of you, so he needs a good address. He says the address comes back Either get a hold of Watcher or Scott and give him your address, the correct address to mail it to. That's how we work out. This is what a community does. They look out for each other. And I knew it was Kara. I knew because it's the only Kara there is. She's the only Kara. She is Kara. She's the only Kara. What's my thoughts on Israel possibly giving bad intel on Iran? It's possible. But if we are just going off what Israel tells us, that means our people are pretty fucking stupid. Because we should have our own intel and our own way of verifying things. We shouldn't just go, I mean, what is Israel like a woman and we're supposed to believe all women and whatever Israel says, we have to just believe it and cancel. We canceled Iran. Did Israel tell us that Iran raped them in the 1960s, like Hugo or Cesar Chavez? Is that what happened here? Is that what could have happened? La Nation, The Blade. Let's see. It's got to be some good story. El Mundo, National Post, Globo, Straight Times, Reforma, ABC, Newsmax. I guess Newsmax it is. DEA names Colombian president priority target as prosecutors probe ties to drug cartel. This guy, we're going to get rid of Trump just like that, he said. I said, well, we're going to get rid of you just like that. That's what's going to happen. You're going to find out what happened to Escobar, Ochoa. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has been designated a priority target by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration as federal prosecutors in New York probe his ties to drug traffickers. According to people familiar with the matter whose records were seen by the Associated Press. DEA records show Petro surfaced in multiple investigations dating to 2022. Many based on interviews with confidential informants and alleged crimes the DEA has investigated, including his possible dealings with the Mexican Sinaloa cartel and a scheme to leverage his total peace plan to benefit prominent traffickers who contributed to his presidential campaign. Records also suggest the use of law enforcement to smuggle cocaine and fentanyl through Colombian ports. The priority target label is reserved for suspects DEA deems to have significant impact on the drug trade. Pablo Escobar was a priority target. El Mayo was a priority target. El Chapo. Petro denies all ties to drug traffickers and maintains he's never accepted their funds. Writing on X, he argued the U.S. legal proceedings would ultimately dismantle accusations from the Colombian far right, a group he claims is actually the one involved with traffickers. What? Colombia's embassy in Washington downplayed what it called unverified and anonymous reports of preliminary law enforcement investigations. The reported insinuations have no legal or factual basis. We'll see. We shall see. In recent months, prosecutors in Brooklyn and Manhattan have been questioning drug traffickers about their ties to Petro, specifically about allegations the Colombian president's representatives solicited bribes to block their extradition to the United States, according to one of the people who aren't authorized to discuss the ongoing inquiry. They spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. Anonymity. The person said it wasn't clear whether federal prosecutors have implicated Petro in any crime. What? They just said they have implicated in crime. The investigation is focused on, at least in part, on the allegations that representatives of Petro solicited bribes from drug traffickers at the Colombian La Picota in exchange for a promise that they not be extradited to the U.S. Petro has consistently denied allegations of drug trafficking, particularly after Trump labeled him an illegal drug dealer. He's not your ordinary drug dealer. And the Treasury Department sanctioned him in 2025 for ties to the trade without offering evidence. Oh, without offering evidence. Okay. All right. Do you want to just put all the evidence out there, the classified shit that they picked up? Anonymity finally pronounced correctly. Yes. U.S. federal prosecutors declined to comment. The DEA did not immediately respond for requests to comment, and the federal inquiry was reported earlier Friday by the New York Times. Inquiries into Petro are at the early stages. It's not clear whether they will result in charges. DEA records reviewed by the AP are based in part by tips involved with a range of criminal groups that have dominated South American drug trade for years. Those include Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, as well as Cartel de las Soles, or Cartel of the Suns. It would be funny if one of the informants giving up information on him was, Maduro himself or Maduro's wife. Yeah. Maybe Maduro was like, if you let me go, I'd give you They give you Colombia. The term is used to describe a loose network of corrupt, high-ranking military officers in neighboring Venezuela. The records also cite a 2024 interview with an unnamed source who claimed Petro is utilizing former campaign aides and officials from state-run oil company Ecopetrol to launder presidential funds into foreign countries for Petro's use upon completion of his presidency. Messages were sent to Ecopetrol seeking comment. Petro, a former rebel leader, he was a former rebel leader. I think he was a former leader of the group, if I'm not mistaken, what is it called? M19, I think it was the group that attacked the Justice Hall or whatever, the court building in Colombia to burn the records down to get Pablo Escobar out of trouble, and they were the ones who stole the sword of Bolivar, of Simon Bolivar, and gave it to Escobar. And they were the people that kidnapped Ochoa's sister. What was her name? Something Ochoa. Maria Ochoa? No. Anyway, and then and that's why they formed what formed the death to kidnappers. That Pablo Escobar and the people, they were spending money and they were going around basically slaughtering these people. And they're tied to the cartel. Yes, M19. After this happened, they became like really linked, inextricably linked to the cartels. A leftist politician known for whining, sometimes incoherent speeches, has regularly criticized the Trump administration over support for Israel and bombing of drug boats in the Caribbean. And he's likened the White House migration crackdown to Nazi tactics. Oh, Nazi tactics. Okay. The Nazis were not kicking people out of the country. The Nazis were putting people in camps to hold them. I'm saying it's a little different. After one such outburst at a pro-Palestinian demonstration outside the United Nations headquarters in New York, Trump retaliated by revoking Petro's visa. Yeah, so foreign leaders cannot come to the U.S. and have protest rallies in the U.S. They're here on visas, and they're not allowed. Get the fuck out. He also slapped high tariffs on Colombia over Petro's refusal to accept deportation flights from the United States. But more recently, the two have shown signs of getting along. After a meeting at the White House in February, Trump described Petro as terrific. Colombian authorities have for years been investigating members of Petro's family for criminal acts. His son, Nicolas Petro, was charged in 2023 with soliciting illegal campaign contributions from a convicted drug trafficker to fund a lavish lifestyle of expensive cars and homes. You don't say. You don't say. The younger Petro has pleaded not guilty. His father has said none of the money was used to fund his campaign. The president's brother, Juan Fernando Petro, has also been implicated in secret negotiations that allegedly took place with imprisoned drug traffickers to shield them from extradition. I mean, so what's worse? If they were just lying and scamming and stealing money from drug traffickers, or if they were actually doing it on their father's behalf. Politics in Colombia have long been tainted by cocaína, of which it is the world's largest supplier. In the 1980s, drug lord Pablo Escobar was elected to the country's Congress with the support of one of Colombia's most traditional parties. A decade later, his rivals from the Cali cartel flooded the presidential campaign of Ernesto Samper with illegal donations. The now defunct urban guerrilla group Petro belonged to, the 19th of April movement, M19, see, Jim was right, M19, has long been suspected of taking money from Escobar's cartel as part of the deadly siege of the Supreme Court in 1985. Holy shit. Look at that shit Jim knows. Wow. Petro did not participate in the attack, which left several guerrillas and around half of the high court magistrates dead. CIA protected by Petro dollars, yeah. Leaders of the group have always denied any links to the cartel. Bullshit. Jim's calling bullshit. What do we know? All right. Well. Bum 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 bum. Well, unfortunately, folks, we did not hit the goal. All right, we did not. We did not hit the goal. So I think that's going to be it for the evening. I'm going to try to do another show on Saturday night. I'll try to do one actually Saturday. I'll try to do one earlier. I'll try to start maybe at 8 or something Saturday because I think Joe's supposed to stream. I think Joe's supposed to. Jim, did I tell you I dated a daughter of one of the members of the Medellin cartel? No. Cool. Poison? Was it Poison's daughter? Or Cockroach? Cucaracha? Whatever his name was. But anyway, I think this is going to be it for the evening. I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remember, hit like. Please subscribe. I'm going to send you over. To a channel to say hi to somebody who some people like, some people don't. We'll just see. All right. I will see you all tomorrow, early, maybe 8 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time. All right. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. Good night. Come on back for Jim the